Shalom, Israel, shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Komalak Yabashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Komalak Yabashai. The hardy, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the aquath out there, the sisters out there, hold it down in the households and move it in the spirit of our righteous foremother. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the ancient men, the children, everybody tuning in live. Shalom. Tribe of Judah, Mordecai, servant of Yah, Christopher Harris, Sweet Styles, Tapuak, T. Sellers, Shalom Williams, Yolanda Caesar, Nakamai, Shalom King, Mike Call, Israel, Joshua Brewer, Shalom, Shalom, Yakal Salah, Shalom King, Vernon Brody, HBK Ent, and everybody else tuning in that will tune in. Satan was trying to cause confusion and disrupt this live prior to it even starting. But all praise to Yahweh Bashir Shai. We're not ignorant of his devices. Satan was rebuked by Shema Mashiach and we're able to get this thing going. Satan doesn't want these things to come out. Man. The adversary does not want this light to be brought out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashir Shai. But hey, the Lord said that the gates of hell, let me get that precept real quick, in the book of Matthew, the 16th chapter, that the gates of hell shall not prevail against thee, man. Greatly paraphrasing what Yahweh Shah told the apostles, chiefly the apostle Peter, right? Because when you're doing this work, you're going to have all types of spirits and men to try to oppose this truth, hinder it, and shut it down through the spirit, man. Right? Matthew 16 and verse 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Because Peter was the foundation. Yahweh Shah is the ultimate foundation, but Peter, of course, he's the chief apostle. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So the gates of hell, it's not talking about demons underground in a fiery inferno. The gates represent the leadership. It represents the nobles. It represents those who run a society. The gates of hell represent the Rothschilds, the Illuministic families, the rich elite bankers, right? The damn warlocks and wizards that they deal with. People that try to disrupt their lives and try to hinder this truth with crafty counsel and madness. There's nothing that can countervail or come against Yahweh Bashmi Abashad. So this word is going to go out, right? This word is going to go out. And you have a lot of prophecy unfolding in the earth. And the topic of this cold cut is behold a pale horse. And his name that sat on him is death. You have eclipses. I mean, there's so much going on in the earth. I mean, it's hard to capture everything. You blink twice and it's another earthquake, man. You damn sneeze and a bomb drop, man. You get up, you turn your head left and you turn it back right, and it's damn more rumors of wars, man. There's something happening. It seems like every hour, not even every day, every hour. And the Lord said every morning he doth bring his judgment to light, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Right? This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So you don't have to wait every 10 years for something to happen. Every 30 months. Yahweh Bashmi Abashai said every morning something is happening. Rather it's publicly broadcasted, or rather it happens locally, or rather it's just the will of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai, stirring up men and putting spirits on individuals and kings and generals. Right? The Most High saying every morning something is happening on the earth. So you can't say that, well, I don't know, ain't nothing really going on. And especially in these times, man. Like I said, you got eclipses. You got NASA shooting rockets at eclipses. You got Amalek talking about they want to sacrifice the red heifer to bring in the temple, right? You got Ukraine brought to be part of NATO. NATO says Ukraine will accept you, right? You have New Zealand. They're looking to join NATO and stir up commotion out there in the Pacific with China. right? You have strange sights and objects in the sky in Iran. You have Iran and Israel about to go to war. You have earthquakes. There's so much going on, man. Every morning something is happening, right? Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 real quick before we actually dive into it. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he was saying to me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And a watch that you stand upon is his Bible, right? You're literally waiting to see what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to do on the earth. Because in the previous chapter, Habakkuk was complaining in the bitterness of his soul about the oppression of the wicked upon the righteous. So he said, okay, I'm going to wait and see if the Most High is going to speak to me, right, in the bitterness of my soul. So he said, I'm going to stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, right? The watchtowers where the watchmen would be stationed. And their job is to, again, warn the Israelites when the enemy's coming in. They would blow the trumpet, right, when the cavalry was coming in. If glad tidings or evil tidings were approaching the city, they were the chief men responsible for the welfare of the people. He said, and will watch to see what he was saying to me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And if you're not watching, then how are you going to reprove the people? How are you going to warn them? And that's why a lot of people tend to slow down to this thing. They slow down and they start falling slower, and they get slothful and wax worse. And, they start drifting off back in the world because they're not aware that the Most High is bringing judgment every second. Right now, there's something going on, right? Whether you know it or not, there are spirits working on the earth. This whole thing is pushing towards the end of the world. And the Most High don't take days off. He's a consuming fire. Right? Verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the vision is yet for an appointed time. And his vision really goes into the so-called white man, his rulership and his downfall. Right now, it wasn't time during the time of Habakkuk, because Habakkuk was alive during the time of the Babylonian Empire. But he said, at the end, it shall speak. And you're living in the end of the world. And these prophecies are speaking. Everything that Yahushua said in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, everything that was listed and documented in 2 Ezra 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 15, 16, right? A lot of these chapters are coming to pass, and they're speaking expressly, man. They're screaming at you. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So it may seem like things aren't happening. To tarry means to wait. Though it seems like things aren't happening, and it seems like your life continues according to the fashion of this world, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Once this thing start kicking off, it's going to move fast. As we got so much all hell breaking loose on the earth, man. Right? And what is the Most High sending on the earth? Right? He's sending death and destruction. Right? Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus saith Yahweh unto the land of Israel, an end. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. And that's why you have the National Guard ready to be assembled. That's why you have Iran that said, we vow vengeance. We will attack. It's only a matter of days before they attack, allegedly. That's why you have a massive earthquakes in California, earthquakes in New York, the Statue of Liberty being struck by lightning. There's a lot going on that we want to cover, man. Because in the end has come upon the four corners of the land, right? Meaning complete destruction. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And that's what the Most High is about to do. Because all these signs that are going on in the earth, It's really to judge the man according to the wickedness, man. Because man has profaned the name of the Most High. Man is eating unclean foods. They're breaking the Shabbat. They're committing adultery. They're committing murder, abortions amongst the women, homicide, genocide, right? Wickedness and lust and sodomy and freakism. These things, they have to be held. These people have to be held accountable, man. You think everybody could walk up in earth and be a sodomite and a freak and a bug out and a demon, and they're not going to be held accountable to their wicked works, man? The Lord said, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Paraphrase. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil. That's Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Right? I quoted 12 and 11. Paraphrasing. So you can be evil on the earth, but eventually the Most High is going to get up with you. And right now, the Most High, he's getting up with the earth. All of the wickedness that they have done to God's people, the slavery, the genocide, the castrations, the buck breaking, the wicked counsels, the destroying the earth, even within itself, man. Polluting the air, cut down all of the trees, destroying the water, breeding all of the animals and crossbreeding and running experiments and cloning and manipulating the genetics and switching up the boundaries of the people and being a damn hypocrite on the earth, making you swear in on the Bible, not keeping any law, lust and child sex trafficking and pedophiles and child molesters and underground tunnels and bohemian groves and idols and wickedness and false currency and damn corruption and evil on the earth. So the Most High is right now he's judging the earth according to the ways of man on the earth. Because we have to speak on what the Most High is doing on the earth and why he's doing it. Because although the world is showing you what's happening, they're not going to tell you why it's happening. So it's the job of the servants of Yahweh Basham Bashai to speak on behalf of the Most High and let you know why there are earthquakes, why are there eclipses, why are there blood moons, why is there famines, why are these things happening on the earth? Right? Ezekiel 7:4. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord God, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. And the end is come, right? That's why you have violent rumbles. I believe I got hit with 3 earthquakes, 2. Some people are saying 3. New York, New Jersey. Some people in Maryland said they felt it down here, man. You know, out there in Massachusetts, Connecticut, they get the Most High's hitting places that normally don't get earthquakes. They are getting hit by earthquakes, man. New York is not a well-known earthquake city, man. You would expect something like that in California, you know, Alaska, right? Those are major hot spots somewhere in the damn ocean somewhere. But when you have earthquakes in New York, then you have these geologists. They're trying to figure out why. Every scientist is scratching their heads. They're coming together. They're looking at the what they call the Richter scale that measures the magnitude of the earthquakes. They're looking at what they call the tectonic plates. They're trying to figure it out. They have clipboards in their hand and they're looking at those little lines and they're trying to make sense of the judgments of God. They're trying to find a scientific explanation. And it's only a matter of time because they have to answer for this, man. Because the people of the earth, they have questions, right? They want to know, why is this happening? So this government, these world leaders, they're going to have to give an answer for this stuff, man. And whatever they give is not going to be according to the will of the Most High, right? Real quick, I want to go to Revelation chapter 6 because it is the topic of this lesson, man. Right? All of these things are also a result of Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? And you read about the pale horse, right? So this is Revelation chapter 6 and 7. You hear people say the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, or you hear things like that, right? The 4 horsemen. Now, they actually get that from the book of Revelation, because Revelation, it speaks about 4 spirits upon horses. Now, I'm not going to go to the whole breakdown for sake of time. We're going to touch on the 4th horseman. The 4th horseman, what they call, is death, right? Now it reads, and when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. Now these seals are going to be opened up after the 6th seal. So like after John was ascended up into heaven, right? I was thinking about the trumpets, but you have 6 seals, then you have the 7th seal that open up the trumpets. So these seals run in chronological order, right? Now this 4th seal is the current time that you're living in now. And these seals represent certain prophecies that are going to unfold. Yahushua, he opened up the 7 seals, right? And each seal that he opened up, it accounted for a particular prophecy and judgment that was going to take place on the earth, right? From the time of the 1st seal to the 2nd seal to the 3rd seal, all the way up into the 4th seal. Now, again, I'm not going to go through every seal, right? But I will read Revelation chapter 5, and I believe I'll read 1 through 5, right? So this is Revelation chapter 5 and 1. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. Now these seals represent certain prophecies. All right. When you go to Daniel, let's go to Daniel chapter 12 and 4. All right. This is Daniel chapter 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So the book was physically sealed, but it's speaking more so on a spiritual level. The understanding, the breakdown and revelation, the hidden meaning behind particular prophecies that Daniel saw was not revealed during the time when Daniel walked the earth. But these things were going to be opened up and expounded upon to the men of the Lord at the time of the end. The Lord said, many are going to run to and fro, right? To learn and to seek out understanding and figure things out, and knowledge shall be increased. The knowledge of the Most High, the knowledge of the prophecies, right? The knowledge of science and medicine. These things are going to progress as man ages throughout time. Now, the point I want, it says seal the book, right? Because once these books become unsealed, it's going to reveal the prophecies that Daniel saw, John saw, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and many other men of the Lord saw that they didn't understand. A lot of these men saw things through visions and dreams, and they couldn't interpret it. Daniel said that in Daniel the 8th chapter, he said, but none understood it, right? Real quick. This is Daniel chapter 8 and 27. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward, I rose up and did the king's business. And I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. So he didn't know that Daniel 8 was speaking about the Greeks, right? And the Medes and the Persians. He didn't know that, man. Daniel didn't know about Alexander the Great or Antiochus Epiphanes IV. He didn't break it down. He told it to his men, right? His brothers, but nobody could understand that dream, right? So certain dreams and visions are revealed in progression of time. Okay, now let's go back. And you have certain men like Ezra. He got sick too, man. Certain men fainted. They woke up. They didn't know. Zechariah, he said, "What is this?" Concerning the olive tree. So there are many things that are sealed up until the time of the end, right? This is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. Right, so there are things that have to be broken down in the last days. You can't seal it up and say, well, I'm not going to go into that. If the Most High reveal it unto you, you're obligated to teach what Yahushua has put on your spirit concerning the judgments of the end of the world. And you can't seal it up, right, and cease from prophesying. The Lord said, the lion hath roared. Who would not be afraid? the Most High has spoken, who can but prophesy? In Amos, the 3rd chapter, right? Because the time is at hand. The time of the deliverance of the children of Israel is at hand. The time of Babylon the Great going down is at hand. The time of Armageddon, World War III, and judgments are at hand. Certain signs were said that they would come to pass, and they are at hand. So these seals represent particular judgments and prophecies that are going to happen in the earth, right? So the Most High had in his hand a book, or like a scroll sealed with 7 seals, right? Verse 2 in Revelation. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open the book. It's like to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon, right? Because John, he was emotional, man, because there are things that are in these seals that are going to teach the children of the Most High how to receive everlasting life and what the Most High is going to do unto their enemies, man, right? And that's needful knowledge for our people. Verse 5. And one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. Who's the Lion of the tribe of Judah? Who's the root of David? Yahushua, Hamashiach, our King, our Lord. He hath opened up the book and revealed unto the children of the Most High, the servants of the Lord, what he's going to do on the earth. And he's speaking through them through the visions that John saw. So he actually opened it up. And it's not just a spiritual understanding. John actually saw it. And he documented particular prophecies that are going to be given in the last days. Now, one of the things that he saw was the 4th seal be opened, right? Now, the 4th seal is what we're going to focus on, right? This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, right, 4 out of 7, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And this pale horse, rather you believe it, accept it or not, is on the earth right now. Now, is it an actual horse? No, it's not an actual horse. Again, when you we even put in the thumbnail through the spirit, when you look this up, right, here's what they tried to paint it as. Somewhat as what they call the Grim Reaper, right? He has a scythe in his hand. Usually has like a skull head. So the so-called scholars, they likened the painting of the pale horse onto figures that you see on the screen. And his name that sat on him was Death. See that they say when the world becomes undone, right? And that's a good caption right there. When the world becomes undone, meaning when it spirals out of control, when economies are on the verge of collapsing, when war is about to kick off, when all hell is breaking loose on the earth, when judgments are transpiring, right? It's a main picture right there, that one. Right? See that? And its name that sat on him was Death. And again, that's where they get this concept of, like I said, the Grim Reaper, or the concept of, the skull and bones. They get it from the book of Revelation. All right. Now, is there an actual man called Death? He has a name tag. Hi, my name, or hello, my name is Death. No. What the Most High is saying is that there are spirits that are sent out on the earth to kill the 4th part of men with particular judgments. Now, death and hell represents the grave. It's not talking about in the inferno, underground, a subterranean inferno, right? It's speaking about death angels that have been given power to kill man with the divine judgments from the Most High, right? Because when you sit upon a horse, it represents you were given power, right? And you were given strength. So the Most High gave power and strength unto death and these demons and death angels to commit massive killing on the earth. That's what it's saying, right? Let's go to the classic. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. So servants upon horses means now these slaves, they now have power. They now have dominion. They now have rulership. Like that picture they have of, I believe that's Roosevelt on a horse, and he got a Gadite. That may be him, and a Judite to the right and to the left of him. See that? So this is a servant, a so-called white man, but he's upon a horse. Solomon said, I have seen servants upon the horses and princes walking as servants in the earth, right? So when you're upon your horse, it represents your power and your might. You have an advantage when you go to war, right? Kings ride upon horses. When you read about Esther, Mordecai was put upon a horse and he was arrayed throughout the entire city, right? So these are really servants upon a horse. And you have princes walking as servants upon the earth. So when you're put upon a horse, it represents you were given power, right? That's also found in Revelation, the 19th chapter, right? Let's get a precept on that. So this is Revelation. That's why you have to go through the precepts, right? Revelation chapter. We're going to get into these current events, right? But I want to get these preliminary precepts first and foremost. Revelation chapter 19 and 11. Right. And there's a lot we have to get into, man. There's a lot going on in the earth. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So you have a white horse, and you have Yahushua who sat upon him. Now, again, it's not talking about Prince Charming, right, that they painted Disney and they painted these worldly movies, man, for the so-called white woman and white girl, the Edomites, if you can understand. This is speaking about Yahushua actually inside of a chariot, what the world calls a UFO, a spaceship, if you will. Now, white represents purity, righteousness, piety, holiness, chastity, cleanliness. And a horse is symbolic for power and strength. So Yahushua is coming back in righteous power and authority. All right, that's what it's speaking about. All right. Now, when you go back to Revelation, it says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And pale represents a lifeless individual. When somebody's pale, their life has been gone. The spirit is gone from them. Okay, like the Lord said in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. He spoke about, let's get this real quick in Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 30 and 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child, or wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. When your face is turned into paleness, you're either dead, you're in shock, you're petrified with fear, or like I said, you're dead, bro. Because that life, that spirit leaves you. People's lips turn blue. They call it rigor mortis. The body stiffen up, and the body gets this pale appearance. When you look at a corpse, right? So this pale horse is symbolic for death on the earth. That's why his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And again, this represents evil angels that are going to kill massive people on the earth by the millions and send them straight to hell, meaning straight to the grave, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 39. And the world isn't going to disclose that. that there are legions of demons running to and fro in the earth, causing earthquakes, causing tsunamis, causing war. There are demons working behind the scenes, working on the elements, manipulating the elements, working on the minds of the people, giving them ideas and thoughts and provoking them to the judgments of the Most High. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Right? In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So again, not every angel's a little angel up there, and he's sitting up there, and he has blonde hair and blue eyes and a pamper and little wings, and he got a little, his damn rosy cheeks and big eyes and long eyelashes and a bow and an arrow on his back, and he's fluffing it. No, man. You have actual spirits up there that the Most High made just to pay people back, man. For payback, get back, vengeance, what the Bible says. Right? Fire and hell, famine and death. See that? All these were created for vengeance. Wildfires, explosions by fire, nuclear fire, arson. You got hell and famine. And what? What are we reading about in Revelation? And death. All these were created for vengeance. So the fourth seal, the pale horse, and death and hell that follow and sit upon him, they're created for vengeance. Again, because the world is being punished for their evil. Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 13, right? You got these people fascinated with this eclipse, and they're going to travel at this Edomite dike, man. At the plantation. I'm going to walk where I'm at and say, well, are you going to go see the eclipse? We're driving to Cleveland. My brother, he's dying. I'm like, nobody cares that your brother's dying, man. Now, I didn't say that, but I was thinking that. My brother, he's dying, and he wants to cross it off his list. We're going to go see the eclipse, and we're going to make it a big deal. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I said what I had to say, man, at the plantation, Nevertheless, man, in my mind, I'm thinking these people these people are, they're lost. They have no idea that these signs in the heavens are against them. It's like somebody put a gun out on you and they aim it at your head. And you're sitting up there captivated. Put a damn barrel, sawed-off shotgun in your damn mouth, man. And you're sitting up there, wow, what's this? What is this going on? What kind of gun is this, man? They don't know that death is aimed right at them. So they're captivated by these anomalies and strange sights and happens, man, as if they're for their benefit, as if it's something to glorify and laud and praise and turn it to a damn carnival, man. Right? This Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So these judgments, these spirits that are created for vengeance, they're sent to punish the world for all of their evil. And there's a lot of evil on the earth, man. There are things going on that we don't even know about behind the scenes, right? There's things going on in the industry that's coming to light with these celebrities, politicians, warlocks, wizards, illuministic witchcraft, madness, folly, vanity. The Lord is going to punish the world for their evil. So you're living in a time of the fourth seal, right? You're living in a time of death on the earth, and hell follow with him. And death, this horseman, he's going to and fro through the earth, right? He was in New York. He was in California. He was in Taiwan. He's going to the Middle East. This parabolic horseman, he's on the earth right now. And if you're not right with the Most High, he's going to get up with you, man. He's going to get up with you and utterly take your life from you. So this spirit, and again, does it actually look like this? No, we don't know. Right? We don't know if it actually is a man. We don't know, We know what the angels look like, right, according to the scriptures. But again, this is just their artist rendition of it, all right? But their spirit is out on the earth, man, looking to kill the wicked. And the Most High always has angels and death angels. When you read Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, he had 6 angels with destroying weapons in their hands, man. Right? Let me get that real quick before we move on. Right? Revelation, before we start getting into these current events. Actually, I wanted Ezekiel chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. He cried, Ezekiel chapter 9 and 1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, and every man with this destroying weapon in his hand. You see that? So certain angels like this, they do have destroying weapons in their hand. Some of them may very well have a scythe in their hand. Yahushua is known for having a sickle in his hand, parabolically speaking. Some angels might have a battle axe in their hand, that damn ball with the mace in their hand, 2-edged swords in their hands, right? So you have spirits with destroying weapons in their hands, all right? Tell you that in Ezekiel chapter 9, you know, and these are really 6 death angels, and they're responsible for killing the Israelites, the wicked of Israel. That's why it says they have charge over the city. So if anybody dies in Jerusalem, it was done by these 6 death angels. If the 4th part of the earth is going to die, it's going to be done by death that sits upon a pale horse. He's going to kill the 4th part of all men on the earth. Just like these 6 death angels were responsible for killing any Israelite that was in Jerusalem. And these angels, they didn't retire, right? They didn't retire. They're not on a pension plan. They're still on the earth right now. What do you think happened to Freddie Gray, Emmett Till, Eric Garner, right? Tamir Rice, these Negroes that die in the streets, man, and drive-bys in the hood. You know, who do you think is doing that, man? The Most High is doing it, but he's sending these angels, and their job is to kill every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man that are in opposition to the will of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. So they have destroying weapons in their hands. Ezekiel 9 and 2. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, and 6 is symbolic for incompletion and destruction. That's why there's 6 of them, right? Which lie toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed in linen, with the writer's inkhorn by his side, and they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. See that? So you have one of these death angels, he got a writer's inkhorn, right? His job is to mark and let these other death angels know, hey, don't kill that man. Don't kill that man. Don't kill that man. Don't kill that man or that man. These men, they sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of them. They're sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. They're the elect. Don't kill them. But you other angels, go kill all these men. So this is what's going on right now. Again, they didn't retire. Where's the account of angels? Okay, you work from the age of 18 to 65. And you leave the 3rd heaven and you go to the 4th heaven. And there's angel masseuse, whatever they are, the massage people, man. You know, they got angelic spas. You got angel with cucumbers on their eyes, man. And they play mini golf. Where's that at in the scriptures, man? Where they punch out. They scan a badge, or they put in a punch in number and they clock out. They don't take years and days off. So these spirits, they're here right now, man. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, and you get caught out there in these judgments, that's on you, right? These angels are here to do what? I'm going to read Revelation 6 and 8 again. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them, just like power was given to those 6 death angels, over the 4th part of the earth. What is the fourth part of the earth? See, a fourth part of something is 25%, a quarter. Okay. Now, if the Most High said over the whole earth, then they would have killed everybody, right? But this judgment isn't to kill everybody. What you see going on the earth is not to eliminate the entire so-called human race, because you still have to elect. They have to be preserved. You still have the nations that have to go to slavery. You still got the remnant of Edomites that got to be judged. So they're not going to kill everybody on the earth. They're only going to kill a fourth part. A fourth part represents a certain portion, right? Let's prove that through the precepts. It's not speaking about a geographical location, all right? Now, when you go to, the Lord deals with this fourth part concept. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture wherein thou coverest thyself. So, four quarters represent 100%, right? Obviously, you got four quarters to get a dollar, you got 100, right? Or one. So when you got four quarters, it represents the entire circumference of your garment, right? 100%. But if you take a fourth part of that and you put fringes on it, you will only have fringes on a certain portion, if that makes sense. You wouldn't have fringes on the entire garment, just the fourth part of it. A fourth part of all man is going to be destroyed. Not the four quarters of man. The Lord will not kill the four quarters of man. If he killed the four quarters of man, the elect would be destroyed. If he killed the four quarters of man, you wouldn't have any slaves. If he killed the four quarters of man, prophecies would be disannulled. So the four quarters of man cannot die. Only a quarter of man, a fourth part of man, they're the ones set up to be judged by God. Right? Let's go to Exodus, the 13th chapter. Right? Exodus chapter 13 and verse 7. That's where you have to go through the precepts. You don't have to wing it. You don't have to get fanatical. Just the precepts, man. Through thy precepts, I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way. Exodus chapter 13 and 7. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee. Neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in what? In all thy quarters. So during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you can have no leaven in your entire house. That's all your quarters, your whole house. The Lord didn't just say in 1/4 of your house or a fourth part, right? You can't have leaven in a fourth part of your house. Then the other 3 parts, you could not have leaven. It doesn't work like that. So the Most High deals with quarters and fourths. Even there are 4 angels standing upon the 4 corners of the earth, meaning the entire earth. So these judgments to kill the fourth part of man is a certain portion of man, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 9 and 20, right? Because everybody's not going to be destroyed. See, a lot of people, when we talk about the end of the world, they like to liken it as a mass extinction. Okay, the dinosaurs, the woolly mammoths, they're all extinct. The human race is going to be destroyed in the entire earth. That's not how this thing is going to go down. First of all, the earth is not going to be destroyed. The earth is going to remain. The Lord even told the Lord would be a liar, because he told Noah, while the earth remaineth, seed time, harvest, day and night, summer, winter, cold and heat shall not cease, paraphrasing. So the Most High is bound by his word. You know, he made promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that their seed will inherit that land forever. So no, the earth is not going to be destroyed. The Lord told Jacob that his enemies would bow down to him. So how is all of the earth going to be destroyed and all of the people? Only a fourth part. And then sometimes in Revelation, you read about the third part. But if you got understanding, the third part and the fourth part are saying the same, because they're used in the same spirit. All right? If you got to understand it. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 20. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils, and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. So there are men that are still going to survive when Yahushua returns. They're going to survive after the pale horse, because the destruction is only going to kill a fourth part of men. And there are going to be the other parts of men that are going to still be on the earth, right? They are still going to be on the earth. 3/4 of men are still going to be here. But a fourth part, a quarter of men are going to be destroyed, right? And it's all parabolic. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, right? Let's get one more on that, because I do want to dive into these current events, right? This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 11, right? Daniel chapter 7 and verse 11. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even to the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. Right? Speaking about Babylon the Great, right? As concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. So this beast is Babylon the Great, but it's really, goes into NATO and the EU as well. The horn is America. The beast in its entirety is modern day Rome. They're going to be given to the burning flame. You can read about that in Revelation 19. The 10 horns that made war with the Lamb, right? They were destroyed. So the beast is going to be destroyed. But what about the other nations? That's not the so-called white man. What's going to happen to them? As concerning the rest of the beast, they had their dominion taken away. So their rulership was taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. So again, a fourth part represents a certain portion, because other people's lives are going to be prolonged. They're still going to be here, right? So you don't want to be part of the fourth part, right? Or you're going to get caught out there. You got to deal with it, bro. Right? So let's see the signs and the judgments of the fourth of what's going to happen to the fourth part of man. Luke chapter 21 and verse 6. Right? I'll start at 5. So I'm going to close out of that. Okay, Luke 21 and 5. Right? Bear with me. Right? It reads, and as some spake of the temple, how it was adored with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as for the things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Yeah, we go over this all the time. Herod was building the temple about 46 years in building, they say, right? As he was adding on and different things into the temple, Yahushua said that all of these stones in this temple, because he put precious stones and gems and things in it. Yahushua said that's going to be thrown down. And he was speaking about that temple, but all of these buildings, all of the constructions of the so-called white man, of modern day Herod, and these Herodians and these Edomites, they're all going to be thrown down. Right? Verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Now I want to go into this word sign. Right? They say, when are the works of the so-called white man going to be thrown down? Because Herod was the one that built. And in Malachi, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down. He's going to throw down the works of modern day Herod, the modern day Romans, the dragon, the serpent, the devil, if you can understand. Now, I want to go into this word sign, because Yahweh Bashmir Shai, he's putting signs out on the earth to let you know when destruction is going to happen. All right. And what to look out for. So here's that word sign. Right. Now it says Simayon. Right. Simayon, which means a sign, a mark, or a token. Right. Let's see. Okay. Now here's what we want. Here's a good definition. I mean, these are all good. That by which a person or thing is distinguished from others and is known, because the Most High, he's separating himself from these other gods. He's being distinguished, because only in the Bible can you find out about massive earthquakes? That's not in the Quran. Give me the book, chapter, and the verse in the Quran. What about the ancient Book of the Dead, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the 42 laws of negative confessions, or the laws of Ma'at? What about these East Indian books and the Veda and things of that nature? The scrolls of these Oriental Semitic nations, man. You Hamites, where are your gods of sticks and stones that said that there was the blood moons would be on the earth? Eclipses, earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars. Where are these gods at? When did Zeus and Poseidon and Hades and these other gods that man worships, the universe, Mother Nature, prove that Mother Nature said that these things were going to happen? That the universe that you Negroes give credit to, man. See, right now, Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, he is distinguishing himself. He has always done this, but even more in the last days. He's being known by his signs in the earth. And the Lord said he's known by his judgments, paraphrasing. Right? He is known by his judgments that he does. So it reads, that one of the definitions for sign, that by which a person, who's the person for this definition? Yahweh, Bashmiah Shai. Or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. A sign, prodigy, portent, an unusual occurrence, like a blood moon at 14 days in eclipse, like the Statue of Liberty being struck by lightning, and then immediately afterwards, back-to-back earthquakes. That's unusual. 7 earthquakes, I believe, hit California, man. So they hit the most wicked places in Babylon the Great. These are unusual things, man. So the Most High said he would show things that aren't usual, that are uncommon, transcending the common course of nature. So this is a big deal right here, man. Transcending the common course of nature, of signs, portending remarkable events soon to happen. And what's soon to happen? World War III. What's soon to happen? Economic collapse. What's soon to happen? Yahweh Shah returning. What's soon to happen? Nuclear holocaust. What's soon to happen? The chariots beaming up the elect. So there are things that the Most High is showing you to let you know that remarkable events are about to happen on the earth. Now, and this is all the product of the times of the pale horse. Now, again, one of the signs which we'll read about are earthquakes. Now you can say, well, there's always been earthquakes. Well, check this out. If you said, if that's your mentality, trying to be nice, right? If that's your mentality, then you need to wake up, man. Because there have never been, even these top, you can go to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Dartmouth, Brown, Cornell, go to an Ivy League school, go to the top school of geology, seismology, right? That studies this. And these top scholars, they are completely baffled at the amount of earthquakes that have been happening over the past 20 years. They have never seen anything like it. So no, you can't say, well, this thing has always been happening. It's always been like that. It hasn't. They say this hasn't happened in 140 years in New York, man. 140 years. Now, you can say, well, how come that's not in the Bible? Well, it is in the Bible. The Lord said it would happen in the Bible, man. Right? Let's get one of those things, those signs. Luke 21, let's go back to this. Right? Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. That's why you have great earthquakes on the earth, right? 4.8 earthquake magnitude rattles New York City. And you have brothers hitting brothers up saying that they felt it, man. Right? No casualties were immediately reported, as rare quake shakes densely populated city of 8.3 million. And this thing could have got bad, man. You know, people recording it. They trying to figure out what's going on. You got people playing damn games. You got somebody putting on social media, I'm not in the mood for an earthquake. Why do I have to go through this, man? See, you Americans, man. That's why these other nations don't respect you. I've met people that's not from America. They know that you're on the low level. They talk down on you, you Americans, you Babylonians. You don't know anything. You don't take anything serious. You're too much into folly and mirth. You don't know that you're being jammed up by the Most High. Now, this is really just a foreshadowing of the massive earthquake that's going to come. Because this ain't nothing. See, Esau's earthquake scale, I think it goes like a 1 to 10. Right? Let's see. Yep. So the Richter scale measures the intensity or magnitude of an earthquake and represents the intensity with the scale ranging from 1 to 10. The Richter scale uses the value of the amplitude of the highest seismic waves. Seismic waves activity are detected using a seismograph, right? Now, this Richter scale, again, it goes 1 through 10. New York, they had a 4.8, right? Let me pull that back up. But there's a more massive earthquake coming to Babylon the Great, coming to New York. And Esau's not going to be able to measure that one. That one's going to be what they say off the charts, right? Let's get that in Revelation. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11. Because they're like, oh, well, this earthquake, it ruined my day. I had plans. I had a party. I was on my way to a wedding. Right? This is Revelation. You got more things you got to worry about, man. Right? You got greater things you have to worry about. That's just a figure because the Most High is about to bring an earthquake that you ain't going to recover from, man. See, nobody died in that 4.8 earthquake. Right? But when the Most High sends his next earthquake, everybody's going to die. Everybody will die. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 12. And he heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So this is speaking about the elect, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, the chosen from the Most High. In America, Babylon the Great, getting beamed up inside of the chariot, abducted by a UFO, if that makes sense, right? The same hour was there a great earthquake. Let me read that again. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. Now you got people reading that. That's not that bad. Only a 10th part of America is going to fall. Only 7,000? You said everybody. Well, first of all, a 10th part means every damn body, right? Every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man that ain't right. Every so-called white man, Chinese man. Every so-called Moabite man, Ammonite man, right? You East Indians, you Cushites. Everybody that's here, you're part of the 10th part. The number 10, it means a whole amount or a complete amount. Okay? That's what 10 means. All right? Jacob told his wives that your father Laban has changed my wages 10 times. Elkanah told his wife Hannah, he said that, am I not better than thee than 10 sons? Paraphrasing. So 10 is just a parabolic number. That means this entire land is going to be destroyed. And 7,000 just means everybody. 7 is completion. The 7 spirits of the Most High, the 7 I ams in Revelation, the 7 horns of the Most High, the 7 trumpets, the 7th day. 7 means perfection or completion. So when this next earthquake hit in New York, man, and New York is the headquarters of Babylon the Great, everybody's going to die at that time, man. So you got more you got to worry about, so-called white man, and you New Yorkers, man. Y'all got a lot more that y'all got to look forward to, man. Let's go to Revelation chapter 16, right? This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done," meaning all of the prophecies, the judgments are complete. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was an earthquake, or a earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, meaning it's completely destroyed. And the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. So this earthquake is going to be caused by the missiles, man. Because the Lord said the earth, when you read Isaiah, the 24th chapter, Yahweh Shai said that when the missiles hit the earth, it's going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. It's going to actually shake up the earth, right? And this earthquake was so mighty and so great, it's going to divide America up into three parts. Now, really, this earthquake can actually, I mean, when these missiles hit, it can actually cause a physical earthquake, man. You got all these fault lines. Everybody's speaking about this, what is this, the New Madrid Fault, that earthquake that happened in 1811, right? So this was a massive earthquake in Babylon the Great in 1811, man. So this was called the New Madrid earthquake, right? Now it says the magnitude of the December 16th, 1811 event ranged from 6.7 to 8.1. And in 1811, you didn't have a lot of these skyscrapers, condominiums, restaurants, apartment complexes, inhabited cities like you do now. So any damage that was done in 1811, it's going to be minuscule, man. It's going to be minuscule compared to what's going to happen when the missiles hit, man. And because these missiles, hey, some of these missiles could dig in the earth, you know, and they can actually trigger real life earthquakes, man. We know Revelation is parabolic as well, but they can actually trigger real life earthquakes. See if I can find that missile. And this was your New Madrid earthquake in 1811, right? Let me pull this up, and I'm gonna see if I can find that missile that can actually dig deep into the ground. Because a lot of these scientists, I'm getting excited, right? A lot of these scientists, they actually created those missiles, man, to go into these and penetrate these deep underground military bases where these leaders would be sitting. You see that? Right? So this is that central area. And I believe this is that area. When you look at that eclipse trajectory, I believe it kind of goes through this area. Now, I could be wrong. We could pull it up, you know? But when you see the pathway of that eclipse, it's similar. It's pretty much going through that area. It is. Right? Let me see if I can find that real quick. I got that eclipse. So we got a lot we got to get into. Is this it? All right, this is it right here. Got to keep track of these tabs. All right, let's see if I can get this on a map. So this is from science.nasa.gov, right? Now, this image should load up. Okay, here it is. Right, give it a second. I don't want to zoom in. Now, they used to on this site. Oh, here it is. You see that? So they actually have the eclipse map. Right? So where would you be? So everybody's getting into this thing. Where will you be? Right? Well, we're going to be keeping the new moon. We're going to be keeping the feast day of the Most High. Throwing up curses on you damn heathen, man. We're not going to get caught up in all of that madness, man. This isn't a damn fun time. Right? We're looking for this place to go down. Where will you be? Like I said, you had these people at the plantation. I'm going to Cleveland. Are you coming? Are you coming to Cleveland with us? Are you? No. We're not into this stuff, man. Like you nations, man. We're not. You gotta buy your glasses. Get your glasses. They're cheap. If you go to Walmart, take 2 rights, take a left. You go to Walmart, you can pick them up. You can't miss them. We're not getting glasses. We're not getting into this thing. I'm not buying a telescope. I'm not bringing a family out, laying a blanket out with a basket of turkey sandwiches, man. You know, and just making it like a big deal. We're not getting out there with that. Everybody sprayed a little mosquito spray and put your mosquito spray on you, some mosquitoes out, and you put your sandals on and make sure you got enough water, freeze some water, put it in the cooler, take the cooler, but make sure you get, and then we get out there and here it comes and put on your glasses and everybody just, no, man. Right? So we're looking for this place to go down. Now we'll watch the recap of it. We might look online when it's done and check it out. Right? But look at this. So that is that pathway. So that's that pathway. And that's similar to that pathway of the eclipse, right? Now, back at this fault line, it's going to pass right through there. Right? And Revelation has said it would be a great earthquake. Now, again, they have actual missiles that could trigger physical earthquakes, man. Let's pull that up. Missiles that dig into Earth, right? Let's see if we can get something with that. Yep, the bunker buster. That's what they call it. The nuclear bunker buster is the nuclear weapon version of the bunker buster. The non-nuclear component of the weapon is designed to greatly enhance the penetration into soil, rock, or concrete to deliver a nuclear warhead to a target. So they call them bunker busters, man. So these things dig deep into, look at that. Look what it did to the earth. Damn, lifted the earth up out the ground. So if you got all these missiles hitting the earth, no doubt it's going to trigger some type of what they call seismic activity, right? And hit all types of fault lines and cause this place to reel to and fro, like I tell you, like a drunkard. Let's get that in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, right? So that 4.8 earthquake that they had in New York, it's going to fail a comparison to what the Most High is really going to do on the earth, right? To what he's really going to bring out. Now, I want to jump down in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, right? This Isaiah chapter 24. Let's see, the earth shall reel. I want to jump down in Isaiah 24 and verse, bear with me, shall reel to and fro. Here it is, Salakia. Read right over it. It's Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. And what's going to break it down? The missiles, the destruction. What's going to dissolve it? We can read that in 2 Peter. The elements being dissolved and shall melt with fervent heat. They're going to be destroyed and dissolved by the nuclear heat when the bombs begin to hit the earth. And the cities are going to be broken down as well, right? The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, like a drunken man. He can't keep his balance. So the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So this thing is going to go down, man. When these missiles hit the earth, it's going to trigger all types of damn earthquakes, and that naturally brings tsunamis and disasters and destruction, and wild beasts migrate, and they're going to come here after the cities are burnt and the fire quenches. It's going to be a big deal, man. It's not just one missile that's going to hit America and destroy everybody. There's a lot of effects that come with that, right? So you have your bunker buster, right? You have your New Madrid earthquake, and that eclipse passes right through that entire area. Now, in Revelation, it speaks about there was an earthquake such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And that's ultimately going to come by means of the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And it's going to destroy Babylon the Great and divide it into 3 parts, which is, it just means complete destruction. Okay, that's what it's talking about. Now, let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras, right? And it wasn't just earthquakes in America that day, right? Yesterday, you had earthquakes, I mean, all over the earth, man. You had earthquakes in, let's see. Of course, we got the Taiwan earthquake. That was that day before. Strongest earthquake in 25 years in Taiwan. Strongest earthquake in 140 years in New York. Killed 9 people, 50 missing. They probably got swallowed up out the earth. Out there in Taiwan. So the Most High got up with the Ammonites. You had an earthquake in Japan. 6.3 magnitude earthquake hits east coast of Japan. A day after the 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Taiwan. And eventually, you know, Yahweh Ba'Hashim Yahushai willing, right? Abaratazah Ba'Hashim Yahushai, eventually is going to trigger a massive tsunami, right? We're hoping that tsunami does just as much damage as the physical earthquake, right? So you had that earthquake that hit Japan. Then in Myanmar, right, a magnitude 5.8 earthquake hit, and that happened in Asia. So you had one that hit Asia and Myanmar, if I'm pronouncing that right. You had another earthquake in Asia, in Taiwan. I believe you had 3 earthquakes. I believe it might have been 2 in Jersey, New York, 2 in New York, maybe 1 in Jersey, aftershocks and more, right? You had 7 that hit in California. Like I said, you had 1 in Myanmar. You had 1 off the coast of Japan. This is in a span of 2 days. What else did we have? Then you got people, that's a coincidence. Yeah, I read it in the Bible, but it's a coincidence. You had the 7 earthquakes that hit California, magnitude 4.4, and those things came back to back to back to back, non-stop, back-to-back earthquakes, right? Back-to-back earthquakes, 4.9, Northern California, right? Earthquake centered near Belden Rattle, Northern California, right? You had earthquakes. You had an earthquake that hit Brazil as well, right? Let me see if I can get that. Brazil. I believe you had an earthquake that hit Brazil. See that 2.7. I mean, 2 days ago, Salaki, 2 days ago, a strong magnitude of 4.7 earthquake hit Brazil. So you got Brazil that got hit off the coast, Japan, Taiwan, New York, Myanmar, California. I mean, in 1 or 2 days, man. Now, that's not a coincidence. This isn't just some strange thing that's happening. It's not climate change. It's not the tectonic, the tectonic plates, they've been shifting and continental drifting, Pangea. No, man. What did Yahweh Shai say? Everything must go back to what Yahweh Ba'Hashim Shai said and the word of the Most High. Right? Luke chapter 21 and 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. That's where they're in all these different places. Right? And famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Let's get another quick precept on the earthquakes, right? Let's go to the classic, right? 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So when you see this stuff happening, what spirit should you be in, man? You should be examining yourself, getting your spirit right, man, repenting, praying, fasting, begging for mercy, examining your works, doing more in His truth, man, not being slothful and entertaining the world and letting these demons lead you unto damnation. This is not a time of folly and great mirth. And the Lord says in Ezekiel, right, should we then make mirth? Right? Let's get that Ezekiel chapter 21. Right? I believe that's verse 10. Come. I'm going to start at 9. Ezekiel chapter 21 and 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. So right now, parabolically speaking, the Lord is just sharpening his sword, right? He's getting that judgment ready. They run that sword through that damn machine, and you see the sparks flying off, and they sharpening it. Why do people and warriors sharpen swords? To kill, to have an easy, swift kill. You can't really chop off somebody's head with a dull blade, right? You're going to put forth more strength, but wisdom is profitable to direct. So you sharpen your sword in wisdom that you can have a clean slaughter, right? It is sharpened to do what? To make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. So should we make mirth? Is this because what is Jake worried about now, man? With so many judgments on the earth, you're worried about this rap beef, these Negroes out there rapping, who's going to respond to who, right? You're worried about the NBA playoffs, football, the draft. You're worried about all of the stuff that don't matter, man. Where's the diddler? I'm looking for the diddler. I'm trying to find. You got people looking for the diddler. Oh, there he is in Miami at the airport. Oh, there's the diddler. He's having fun in LA. Right? You're just getting caught up in mirth, man. You're freaking off. You're still engaging the folly and the festivities of this world. Here the Lord is sharpening the sword as a man of war, an austere man. You sit up there smiling and giggling. And no, man. If an actual warrior is sharpening the sword in front of you, you ain't gonna be playing around, man. Ain't nothing to laugh about. It ain't time for games. It's time to beg for him not to kill you. That's what you're doing. Don't kill me. Have mercy upon me. Be merciful to me. Sharpening the sword. Show me compassion and mercy. Forget me not. Don't take the Holy Spirit away from me. Cast me not away. Let me read this again. Ezekiel chapter 21 and 10. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished, to give into the hand of the slayer. So the Lord said he's going to give this sword into the hand of the slayer. Right? That's why you have a pale horse, and its name that sat on him was death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto him to kill with the fourth part of the earth, with sword, with famine, with pestilence, and with the beast of the earth. So the sword was sharpened and given to the hand of the slayer, huh? Right? So he has a sharp sword looking to destroy the wicked out the earth, right? So when you see these things happen and come to pass, you have to be mindful that you can get caught up in that. I can get caught up in that, right? So I'm not going to read this whole article, but of course we know New York got hit, right? That's from Al Jazeera. And then you had this lightning strike. I believe this happened the day before, if I'm not mistaken, because the brother put it in the chat the day before, I think. And then you had the earthquake the day after. Lightning struck the day of liberty. I mean, not the Statue of Liberty, right? Now, the Most High put the spirit on this photographer. How do you capture a lightning strike? Right? The Most High had this guy get this thing right on time. To capture this image is of God. He's at the perfect angle with the flag on the right, another flag in the background on the left. You don't get no clearer than this, man. Now you can say, well, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. Well, this is a sign. What does the Statue of Liberty stand for? Right? What is it about? When you look up the Statue of Liberty, pull up the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was actually a gift given by France to Babylon the Great. Right? See, we're not going to pull up this whole thing. Now you see that Statue of Liberty, in, hold on, let me read this. Liberty, oh, they won't let me read that. Enlightening the world. So the Most High struck it with lightning because their job parabolically is to enlighten the world. Right? What are they enlightening the world with? Sin, philosophies, sodomy, democracy, and Christianity. That's what they're enlightening the world with. Religion, politics, science, medicine, sin, folly, mirth, and madness. And the world, they love the Statue of Liberty, man. When these immigrants were coming here, 1800s, early 1900s, they had to pass through the I can't think of the name of the place. Some was it Easter Isle or Island? Something, not Easter Island. There's a you know what I'm talking about, right? You can look it up, right? But they were passing through this aisle and they would see the Statue of Liberty, right? And they would be crying, and we've made it to the land of the free, right? The home of the brave. Oh no, we finally made it out of oppression. We finally made it to a God's land, right? Ellis Island, that's what it is, the water, Ellis Island, right? They have to go through Ellis Island, right? And they were cheering and they were clapping their hands and throwing confetti in the air when the Irish and the Italians and the Hamites and all of you nations, you Moabites, this was a sign of great hope to you, man. Right? With this Statue of Liberty. And this is complete hypocrisy. To have a statue of, and I'm not going to do a whole breakdown on this, a Statue of Liberty to a nation that built up their society in slavery, which is the opposite of liberty. You don't have no liberty here, man. You have no freedom. You need a license, a birth certificate, a social security card. You have all these government documentations as a corporate slave bound up in America, man. You're in slavery to the dollar through the International Monetary Fund and fiat currency. You're given a fiat currency loan to you on interest. So you're perpetually in debt. You're in a debt that you can never pay off. You're in a financial debt. You got to pay insurance. You got to pay. You're in slavery. You're not in liberty by no means financially. You're not in. You can't even just leave this country. You got to check in. You got to work. You got to pay bills. Shake you in prison. I mean, this is absolute madness, man. And they have this fire in her right hand, which represents their light. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. And the Most High, he struck it by lightning, man. Letting you know that this place is going to go down, right? This is what did I want? Isaiah chapter 14, right? This is really just a physical image representing Lucifer, right? This is Isaiah chapter 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now, Lucifer is not a red man in heaven who got kicked out. He was playing the organ. And no, Lucifer means light bearer, right? That's what it means. It means light bearer. Because Lucifer, which is the so-called white man, his job is to take the nations and bring them to his light. Not the light of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, but his light, which is what? Religion, politics, science, medicine, folly, sin, mirth, and madness, drunkenness. All of the nations are coming to this light, right? Engaging in spiritual fornication with this statue, not with the physically the statue, but for what this statue, this image represents, man. Right? What this image represents. And the Lord struck it again by lightning, man. Right? So let's go back. I'm not going to read this whole thing about the Statue of Liberty, right? But it says, let's see. The statue is a figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess of liberty. So this is nothing but an idol. It's nothing but a god, you know, that everybody worships, right? Everybody that takes a tour, you want to go inside and walk outside and take pictures, is really the Most High judging their God. The Lord did that in ancient Egypt. When he brought those plagues out on the Egyptians, don't you know he also brought them out against the gods of Egypt, right? He brought out all of those plagues against the gods of Egypt, man. The frogs, the flies, the lice, the locusts, the boils, they were all against each god of Egypt. So it's not a coincidence that the Roman goddess that enlightens the world was struck by the lightning of God, right? Let me get that in Exodus, the 12th chapter, right? That the Most High said he would destroy even the gods of the Egyptians. I believe that's what I want. Right? Let's get this Exodus. I may have to go through this. Right? Chapter 12 and verse. I may have to put it in for sake of time. All right, let's see. Gods of Egypt. Right? Because the Lord, he brought those plagues. Exodus 12 and 12, right? Overread it. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. So when you look up all of the gods of Egypt, they had God of the waters. The Most High turned the waters into blood. They had a god of the flies, right? The Most High brought flies upon them, right? They had gods of that frog god. The Most High brought frogs on the land. For every god and deity that the Egyptians worshipped, the Most High mocked them and sent the plague against them to destroy them, right? So it wasn't just strange, pick a plague out of a hat. It was by intelligent design. It was strategic. It was tactical. How the Most High cut down Egypt one by one. And this is one of their gods, man. Right? The Roman, and this lets you know this is Rome. The Roman goddess of liberty, Libertas, being struck by lightning. Right? Now, when you read about the chariots, they shoot out lightning, which are actually the lasers. Right? Let me get that. So that's a sign to come as well, man. Right? Let's go to 2nd Maccabees. Right? The 10th chapter. This is 2nd Maccabees, chapter 10. I want to get straight to the point. All right, this 2nd Maccabees, chapter 10, and verse, I'll start at 30. Right? 2nd Maccabees, chapter 10. I'm going to start at 29. So here's the Jews fighting against the nations, right? Esau and the nations. This is an intense battle. But while the battle is waxing strong, we're about to read about the chariots, which the world calls the UFOs, actually coming to help our forefathers. So this is 2 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 29. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses, with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews. So these 5 chariots came down, and 2 of them led the Jews into battle, and took Maccabeus betwixt them. So they covered him, right? And covered him on every side with their weapons. So they kind of put a force field around him and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against their enemies, or against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. So the chariots could shoot out arrows and lightnings, which are really their lasers, man. So you have this, again, liberty or Statue of Liberty. A chariot could have struck this, man, with lightnings, right? And where did it strike it at the head? He struck it right where the light source is, right where that torch is supposed to be. So this is no strange thing. The Most High could have very well struck him on the shoulder, could have struck him in the damn back, on the top of the head. He said what they call a surgical hit. Like he said in Training Day, what do you say? I'm surgical with this thing, huh? Well, he was being a damn demon, right? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, right? He had the shotgun. He said, I'm surgical with this. And the Most High surgical, man. With the chariots. And the Most High, you don't miss, man. Not like you Negroes who hold your gun sideways and you're trembling and shaking and hit a straight bullet at the baby in Chicago. And the Most High don't miss, man. So he put it in the, what they call it, the scope, right? Red dot, if you will. Sent the lightning and hit straight at the torch of the Roman goddess of liberty, right? So let's go back to this. Okay, the statue is a figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess of liberty. She holds a torch above her head with the right hand, and in her left hand carries a tabula ansata, inscribed July 4th, 1776, in Roman numerals. And that's the so-called Illuminati's birthday, the inception of their what they want to do with their new world order, right? When you look it up, that's why you see these Roman numerals 1776 of their so-called independence. And that's really when they started really getting into this madness, right? A broken chain and shackle lie at her feet as she walks forward, commemorating the national abolition of slavery, right? Which is nothing but hypocrisy. Following the American Civil War, after its dedication, the statue became the icon of freedom and of the United States, being subsequently seen as a symbol of welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. So all nations, it was a welcome mat. Come to America, right? And what did they have in this tabula ansata, huh? Right? That's what it's called, a tabula ansata. A tabula ansata, or tabula ansata, Latin for tablet with handles, is a tablet with dovetail handles. It was a favorite for the votive tablets. It's like it was a favorite form for votive tablets in imperial Rome. Further proof that this is Rome all over again. All right. Further proof that this is Rome all over again. Right. A tabula ansata on the right side of the boss, meaning part of the shield, on a soldier shield, right? As they killed the Jews, man. Right? As they killed the Jews. So no coincidence, man, that Yahweh Shemel Shai struck the Statue of Liberty with a massive lightning strike. Because that's what's coming to Babylon the Great, man. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19 real quick. And we got a lot we got to get into. Right? Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. right? The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So the Lord is going to come into Babylon the Great, and one of the first things he's going to destroy is that Statue of Liberty, man. New York, LA, DC, you know, these are the chief headquarters, man, of Babylon the Great. And all of these idols, all these standing images that you're not supposed to erect in your land pursuant to the book of Leviticus, the 26th chapter. You're not supposed to stand you up a standing image. You're not supposed to have just a Roman god just stationed up in the middle of your damn harbor, man. How are you in God we trust? You have a Roman god. So this is a hypocritical nation. And then all nations are welcome, but you put them all in slavery, man, and oppress them. So this is a real filthy, nasty, vile kingdom. So this is just a sign of the judgments coming to Babylon the Great. And this happened the day before the earthquake hit New York. So New York is a filthy, nasty kingdom. And guess what else was going on? For brothers probably know that was going on in New York the day of the earthquake. You actually had a Psalms 83 meeting going on, right? Let's get that. You had a Psalms 83 meeting. So you had the lightning strike. You had the Psalms 83 meeting, which is the United Nations coming together. And then while they was doing that United Nations meeting, after the lightning strike, mocking all nations coming to America, then you had the earthquake. So you can't make this up, man. So this is UN headquarters in New York shakes during earthquake, right? And the United Nations is when all of the nations come together. And like we always say, the number one topic that they speak about are the children of Israel. Now I actually want to get the audio for this, so bear with me. Right? Let me get the audio for that. So you have a lot going on in the earth, man. Right? You got a lot going on in the earth. And God knows what they were talking about. They only publicize what they want to publicize at the United Nations meetings. Do you think they're really going to give everybody the entire transcript, the entire breakdown? You're not allowed in these United Nations meetings, man. You're not allowed in there. You can't just walk in there and say, well, I want to talk about the people of the Most High. And go in there and try to read Psalms 83, Psalms 2, Psalm 64, right? Judith, the 2nd chapter, First Ezra, the 5th chapter, that speak about crafty counsels and secret plots. Read about these things, man. Salakia. So let's play the audio. Because the same day you had that earthquake, it's the same day you had a United Nations meeting going on. See if I can get the audio on this.
To speak of, the community I visited had one toilet for 600 people. Women stood in line for 3 hours to make use of it. Schools normally form a spine of protection for children, a place where children can seek humanitarian services and normality.
See that? And they're shaking. They trying to figure out what's going on, man. And Most High shut that whole United Nations meeting down, man. Had them cease. Just talking just folly and wickedness, man. Rooted off the destruction of the children of the Most High. The Lord just sent the earthquake and just silenced everybody. And that's what the Most High is going to do when he returns, man. He's going to silence all you nations, man, that come together. And the Lord did that when you all built the Tower of Babel, man. You damn heathen. He confounded your speech. We all couldn't communicate amongst one another, man. And y'all couldn't build that idol against the Most High. And that's what he did right there, man. He confounded y'all speech for a split second. We all couldn't build. right? And come against the Most High and his people. So there's no new thing under the sun. So and she kind of talking, but then, you know, everybody kind of start feeling that earthquake. And they, you know, people took their headphones out. They, you know, they was watching stuff with children and freaking off. And then they closed their laptop. They put their cup of baby blood down. And now they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Schools normally form a spine of protection for children, a place where children can seek humanitarian services and normality. Go ahead. Yep. Education is...
That's good.
Is that an earthquake?
Yeah.
Well, education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Education is in many ways... Madam President, am I okay to continue?
See that? See, these nations, man, when this earthquake really happened, and they don't fear the Most High, can I continue? Right? They're not worried about the Lord, man. As if this is just nothing. Oh, it's just an earthquake. It's just Mother Nature. See, they don't fear the Most High. That's why that 4.8 earthquake ain't nothing compared to what we read about in Revelation. We read in Revelation 16, Revelation 11. Right? Can I continue? And she keep trying to talk through the earthquake, man. That's what the Most High got to shut this whole place down, man. So let me go back to this.
Yeah.
Well, education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Joking and mirth and folly and mockery. You're making the ground shake.
Education is in many ways...
This is fair use.
Madam President, am I okay to continue? Education is in many ways life-saving.
See that? Right? See that right there? So you got a lot going on in the earth, man. Let's see this one real quick. I believe this is the same thing.
These are the 9-inch.
Right? So you got these earthquakes going on in the earth.
This indecision and inaction is a choice, and choices have consequences. Severe malnutrition is not a quiet or painless death. As children get hungry, their bodies weaken, their muscles waste, their vision speak of. The community I of it. Schools normally form a spine of protection for children, a place where children can seek humanitarian services and normality.
Yeah,
services and normality.
Where's the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man that represents the children of God? Where are they at in this meeting? Again, that's parabolic, man. When all you nations come together, the Most High is going to shut the whole thing down. He's going to shut this whole thing down, you united nations. The Lord never wanted all you nations to be united anyway. And you're all united against Yahweh and against his son Yahushua, man. And against his sons and the prophets and the holy apostles. That's who you're united against. So that earthquake was fitting to happen and trigger while they're going through the United Nations meeting. I mean, what better time? What better time to bring an earthquake by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua than when all you nations are sitting at a round table and your pride and lust as your tongue walketh through the earth and as you speak of massive vanity.
Go ahead. Education is...
Wow. That's great.
Is that an earthquake?
Yeah.
Well, education is...
So you got earthquakes triggering or happening during the so-called United Nations meeting, man, as they come together in their own lust to speak. And they're not speaking... She was speaking of malnutrition and things of that nature, but she's not speaking about the Israelites, man. They're not going in there talking about all of the nations coming together to cut us off, man. First, let's get this in Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Because the people imagine when they assemble themselves together that their ideas and counsels and great thoughts are going to stop the prophecies, are going to cut off the Israelites forever. That's a vain thing. They're raging and full of wrath as if they're going to avail and amount to success, man. Not knowing that the Most High set them up to fall. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. And what was this called? The United Nations Security Council meeting, right? So they take counsel together. This was a council meeting. And they have other meetings, right? Take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away the cords from us. And that's something that you're not going to see on camera. Because again, what you see on camera is just a facade. Those are low level, minor things. But they have things that they talk about that's not on camera. And what is their number one topic of conversation at these councils? It's against the Most High. What more can we do to show our hatred against God? Okay, how more can we destroy his people? We already painted the Lord a so-called white man. We already gave him crack. We gave him hood. We put him in a hood. We gave him dope. Put guns in there. What more can we do? Does anybody have any ideas? We got the Arabs there already, the Ishmaelites selling them pork and K2 and backwoods and pork and popping a women. We gave the Moabite man the liquor store, and he's making money, right? You got the hair salon selling them fake weave and Madison wigs and with chemicals and perms, and we already put damn GMO food and damn wickedness in a grocery stores. And what more can we do? How can we further break down the people of the Most High? Anybody have any ideas? Okay, what do you say, Germany? Well, I think that maybe we should. Well, we did that already. Then the Hamite man raised his hand. Well, I have an idea. Well, we did that already. Then Esau, he has an idea. Well, I think that maybe let's create this and do this. Then all of the nations sit together and they say that's a good idea, right? Make sure the camera's not rolling, right? Make sure the camera's not rolling. And then they sit down and they discuss these matters, man, against the Most High and against his anointed, to break the bands, the strength and the connection that you have between you and your creator and the cords, right? That's what Psalms 83 is about. So all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that the Most High had an earthquake happen after he struck the Statue of Liberty with lightning. Then he hit New York and Jersey with back-to-back earthquakes. And California's wicked. There's a lot of wickedness coming out of Hollywood right now, man. You got the Diddler, right? You got all of these celebrities connected with sex trafficking and child molestation and pedestry and wickedness. Even though it hit Northern California, all of California is wicked, man. New York and Cali are the chief states of damn sin, right? LA and New York. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but this is Psalms chapter 83, right? In verse 3. It reads, they have taken crafty counsel. And this is a fundamental precept, man. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and against thy, and consulted against thy hidden one. So those nations come together and they speak about how they can break down the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child. That's what they're talking about, right? They even see the Most High. He put that spirit in that director to make that movie. They clone Tyrone, right? If you've seen they clone Tyrone, then you know the Most High. He put that stuff on the forefront. They made it like a comedy, but that stuff was real, man. Some of that stuff is real. How they be jamming up the food, putting chemicals in this and crack. That was a whole underground damn laboratory, man. A city with scientists and warlocks and wizards coming up with plans on how to destroy. It was kidnapping people, man, taking their organs, freaking off, putting stuff in the hood restaurants. You think that's all of that is 100% false? No, man. A lot of these directors, they know they listen to the Israelites and they kind of take ideas and they make movies about Star Wars and spaceships. They read the Bible, right? They tap into Satan to give them understanding on certain matters, right? So this stuff is real, man. And they take crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's why nobody knows who the Israelites are anymore, man. Nobody knows who the Israelites are. Take a poll, count a survey, go to your local city, go to a mall, go somewhere in the hood, go somewhere at a university, at an HBCU, and see how many people know that they're the Israelites, man. That name has been cut off. And all we are now are Negroes, colored, black people, African Americans. They call people out here in Baltimore, greet each other, and they call each other dummy and stupid. So they say, they call each other dummy, stupid, demon, my woe, slime, my nigga, black man, all of this madness, man. Anything but Israel, man. Yasha Allah. So that name has been eradicated off the minds of our ancestors and the minds of our people to this day, right? Psalms 83:5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So all of these nations and this United Nations meeting where the earthquake struck, they are a confederate against the people of God. Now you can say, well, there might be an Israelite in there. Even if you had one in there, he's still a heathen in the spirit, man. He's still a heathen, led away in the era of the wickedness, man. And right now, this looks like a low-level United Nations meeting. This isn't one of those top high-level ones. It's still the nations coming together, united, and freaking off in sin and counsel. And what they show you on C-SPAN, Forbes, CNN is just a facade. There are other conversations documented that we're reading about in the Bible that they don't give to the public, that they keep amongst themselves with high-level clearance and high-level privileges, man, to actually get into those meetings. You got to be on a certain level. Your local congressman might not even be invited, man. Your local senator, he might not even be invited. You have to be on a high level. Your governor might not even be invited. These are for the top men on the earth, So again, you have massive earthquakes going on the earth. Brazil, Myanmar, Japan, 7 in California, a few in Jersey, New York, right? What else did we have? Taiwan, obviously. And then, of course, we have to go to the eclipse, right? You got the eclipse going on in the earth as well, man. You have the eclipse going on in the earth. Now, again, we've been covering this. You're going to have the National Guard get assembled for this thing, man. And NASA, they said they're going to fire 3 rockets at the eclipse. Where is that at in the scriptures, man? Where is that at? Or you could just, where the so-called white man in his infinite pride and vanity, he's going to take 3 rockets. He's telling you straight up, I'm going to take 3 rockets. I'm going to fire them against the creation of God. Let me go to Psalms real quick, chapter 82. Right? We're going to get that. Right? We're going to pull that up. They're going to fire rockets at the eclipse, man. They say we want to kind of see what happens. Let's just figure out what happens if we fire rockets at the eclipse, at the sun. Well, how are you going to fire rockets at the damn eclipse if it's caused by the moon and the sun, if the sun allegedly is 93 million miles away? Isn't that what the so-called white man say? It's 93 million miles away. Right? And the moon is X amount outside the atmosphere. orbiting around the earth at monumental speeds as the earth spins at damn what 20,000 miles per hour. All this stuff don't even add up. We're gonna fire a rocket. These devils, they just lie and lust and cause confusion and deception and sorcery on the earth, man. But that's what they said they're going to do, right? Psalms chapter 82 and verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So they don't know what's going on. These nations, they move in a spirit of complete pride. Nowhere did King David think about shooting arrows at the sun, trying to combat and fight against the creation and go against the course of nature. That was never in Hezekiah's mind. Never did that thought appear in Josiah's mind. Solomon, our Lord, Yahushua. These are the thoughts of men that have no understanding. The thoughts of the wicked to do such things, man. They know not, neither will they understand. Because even if you corrected them and taught them and broke it down to them, they're still going to do it, man. Why? Because they walk on in darkness. They don't have the truth. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Everything's out of order, man. Right? Everything is out of order. And that's why they say, yeah, we're going to fire 3 rockets. And, it is what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it. Right? We're going to fire them at the moon or fire them at the sun. Right? So this is what they're getting into, man. And that's that pathway that is covered, right? From Mexico through Texas, going all the way through this area right here, Cleveland. And they say if you're in this area, allegedly, that's what they're saying. Now, whether this thing is true or not, we're just telling you, right? We're not telling you exactly what's going to happen when it happens, or we're just covering this, right? We're like your spiritual news anchor, right? We're just giving you the heads up. What they're saying is that the National Guard is going to be called, and it's going to be, they're saying that your phone may go out and you're going to lose your signal for 5 days, and make sure you stock up on food. And this is what they're saying. You stock up on water. So they're trying to, that's called fear mongering, right? And they want to incite a rebellion and sedition, man. They want people to riot and, lose their mind and have plots and plans against the government and the buildings. And this thing could be big. Now, again, it could just be a regular eclipse. The Most High can have it pass through and send his judgments on the earth. Or the Most High can have this thing spiral out of control, right? And the eclipse is what we read about in Luke 21. Let's go back to Luke chapter 21, right? And they say one of those missiles are named after one of these so-called Egyptian gods, right? So that's no coincidence, man. Luke 21 and verse, we'll read 11. Then I want to jump down. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. So we covered the earthquakes in diverse places. At the United Nations building, a Statue of Liberty getting struck by lightning all throughout the earth. But now you have fearful sights and great signs that are going to be from heaven. And the eclipse is one of these great signs from heaven. And the Lord actually specifies as you jump down in this chapter. So let's jump down to Luke chapter 21, right, in verse 29. It's like Luke 21 and 26. Or 25, that's what I want. It's like Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations. Yeah, don't you have distress of nations? They're rioting right now in Haiti. They're rioting in Israel. They're rioting out there in Europe, right? All hell is breaking loose on the earth, man. Which the Lord said in second Ezra that there will be seditions among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So everything you see playing out on the earth, the Lord told you that these things will happen. He has written these things of old for hundreds of years, man. That Israel may see these signs happen on the earth and repent and turn away from iniquity and be clean and pure and righteous, that they may receive mercy on the day of judgment. You're not supposed to, again, look at these signs and get captivated and get caught up in it. This is a warning. This is a direct line of communication between Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and man, chiefly the Israelite man. Because these other nations, the Most High, he's not dealing with them. You know? So you would have distress upon nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So you're going to have war on the earth as well. And you're also going to have signs in the sun and in the moon, right? Let's go to Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel chapter 32, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 32. And I want verse 7, right? Ezekiel chapter 32 and 7. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with the cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land, saith the Lord God. I will also vex the heart of many people, when I shall bring thy destruction among the nations, and to the countries which thou hast not known. So the Most High is going to bring destruction, judgments, darkness. He's going to cover the sun, it says, with a cloud. He could cover it with a moon. He could cover it with an angel, right? And he said, all the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land, said the Lord God. That's spiritually, but also physically. And you see that through this eclipse. So they're saying right now, Oklahoma, I believe Ohio, Indiana, there may be a few other states, but a lot of these states right now, they have declared a state of emergency. And they're telling their citizens, have enough water. We don't know why. That's what they're saying. We don't know why, but have enough water. If you lose cellular service, if you lose, Wi-Fi, if your electronics go out, if there's a blackout, if something happens, just make sure you have enough provisions. That's what they're telling the people. So they want these people to panic buy. They want them to kind of, get all riled up and excited, man. Right? So it's the Oklahoma National Guard being deployed for the April 8th eclipse. And they say yes, man. Now, they're only saying they're going to bring them out because you're going to have massive tourists and going to back up traffic. You're going to have to need people to control the traffic, and the police department may not be enough. So they're saying, okay, we'll just bring the National Guard out to police the situation and provide support to the local sheriffs and police department. But this thing could get bad, man. Right? And we're hoping the Most High put a demon on these people, and they really, things happen, man. Right? Now they're expecting, check this out. It says National Guard troops are trained in a range of specialized duties, such as search and rescue, industrial fires, and maintaining communications during high traffic occasions. Support was requested by towns of fewer than 10,000 residents to handle a predicted 100,000 visitor load. That's a lot of people. It's gonna be a lot of people, man. Like I said, people at the plantation I'm at, they were sending out emails, man. Look, if you at the plantation and it's a solar eclipse, here's what you're supposed to do. You might lose service. They were sending that email out, man. Yeah, people wondering, scratching their head. Okay, what do we do? Do I call out? Do I go in? And they were sending out all types of instructions to these guys that do certain things. And if you're in this area, make sure you do this. And people calling in, I'm worried. I want to see my son. And they say, well, no, you got to be at work. And it's a lot of madness going on. 100,000 people, man. And that's in Oklahoma. Then you got people that's going to chase this thing too, man. So they ain't just going to rest in one place. They're going to try to, follow this thing, man, as much as they can. People are going to worship this sun. You're going to have warlocks and wizards. Don't you know there are warlocks and wizards who pray and hope for stuff like this, man, to cast spells and throw up curses and commit lewdness on people? right? You got people that are into this stuff, man. You got witches and warlocks that like when it's a full moon. Okay, it's a full moon. It's high level demonic activity. Take your crystals, put it on this side of the sun, or this side of the moonlight. And people get into this stuff, man. There's going to be a high level of demonic activity and sorcery going on, and evil and corruption during this time. It's not just an eclipse. It's a sign of the judgment of Babylon the Great and spiritual darkness coming here, but there's also a lot of other things that are going to be happening behind the scenes, right? Let's go to Revelation, right? Revelation, we poured this before, right? We'll pull it again. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 10, right? Revelation chapter 16, slap you, in verse 10, and it reads, and the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the Most High of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. So the Most High poured out this fifth vial upon Babylon the Great, which is the seat of the beast, the throne of all Edomite nations, right? The Most High is letting you know that this kingdom is going to be full of darkness. And that's what that eclipse is going to bring. It's just a sign of the fifth vial. Because when this darkness hit, it's not a literal darkness. It's a spiritual darkness. When you have darkness, you have confusion. You have sin. You have wickedness. You have murder. You have civil unrest. You have seditions. You have what they call pandemonium. Anarchy, if you can understand. Riots. And mayhem and chaos on the earth. That's what's going to happen when this kingdom is full of darkness. When there is no answers. When the scientists don't have the answer. When the president don't have the answer. When these illuministic warlocks who sit in high places, when they don't have the answer. That's the kingdom being full of darkness. And they gnawed their tongues for pain, which is a metaphoric way of saying that the nations are going to be in agony and distress. All right, because the Most High, what he's doing is he's taking a page out of the time of Exodus when he sent the ninth plague on the Egyptians, which was the darkness. And it was a darkness that could be felt. Now, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, you know, the 17th chapter, the 18th chapter, the 19th chapter, chiefly the 17th chapter, you read about when the darkness came, the Most High put strange apparitions and demons on those Egyptians, right? And people were fainting and dying and passing out. And then I'm led to believe they was committing suicide and all types of stuff, man. So that's what's going to happen in Babylon the Great, man. You're going to have massive confusion. And that eclipse that's about to happen is just a foreshadowing. A lot of what we're going into is what the Lord calls a figure, right? Or a foreshadowing of what's to come. Like Adam being a figure, Isaac being a figure of the Lord. All right. That lightning strike is a figure of the lightning or the lasers coming by the chariots. The earthquake that happened at the United Nations meeting is a figure for the great earthquake written in Revelation 11 and Revelation 16. This eclipse is a figure of the darkness that's coming shortly to Babylon the Great. These are the signs to let you know that these things are going to happen on the earth. Right? Verse 11, let me read that again. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. Right? So let's go back to this. And they're not going to repent, man. Right? You think people are going to see this eclipse and repent? Even though we know that darkness is parabolic, but still, you think they're going to fast and pray when they see this darkness? No, man. Right? So let's go back to this. So they're expecting in Oklahoma 100,000 visitors. The National Guard, in a press release on March 18th, 2024, stated the primary purpose of the deployment will be to assist and relieve potentially overtaxed local services such as fire and police. So they're allegedly there to bring backup to the fire department and the police. Right? So they're expecting this thing to actually be a big deal. And that's in Oklahoma. Right? But it's also in Ohio. See that? Ohio's going to get the National Guard called. But again, I want to know why they're telling the people to gather food and water. Right? South Carolina. And again, we're not saying that it's going to be, you know, something immediately happen. We're just telling you what they're saying. All right. We're just reporting what's going on. Let's see. Let's see if we can get water. Solar eclipse. Get water and food. Let's see what they say. Right. See that? IFL Science. Stock up on food, water, and fuel. Right? Ahead of full eclipse. Right? So they're telling people, man, you know, are you going to stock up on food and water? Right? Make sure it's an emergency. You got everything that you need. Stock up on fuel and water. Right? So, you know, this is they're making this thing a big deal. Look, cell phone services could be a problem. You got people firing rockets at the damn eclipse, man. You got people, they're going to be doing spells, and you have warlocks and wizards that are looking for this to happen, man. You got people that worship the actual sun. They're going to be praising Ra, the god of the Egyptians, and praising all these gods of the elements, man. It's going to be a lot of madness going on. It's not just people watching the eclipse, man. You got people that actually worship the sun, right? You got people that actually worship darkness, that bow down to the moon, right? When you go to Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, right? Let's get this real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 16 or 15. Ezekiel chapter 8 and 15. So this was during the time of great apostasy in the time of Ezekiel, around like 597, 594 BC. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar. So it's at the temple. Were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of Yahweh and their faces toward the east. And they worship the sun toward the east. So you have people that actually worship the sun. Now, Christianity is nothing but sun worship. So it's really also mockery. Not only was the lightning strike mockery against that Roman goddess Libertas, but this eclipse is the Most High mocking all you people that worship the sun. And these people don't even know they worship the sun, right? If you're a Christian, you worship the sun. Why do you think they have halos around all of these people and artwork and images? Where is halos at in the scriptures? When did Abraham have a halo? When did Isaac and Jacob have halos? When did Noah have a halo? Right? Where's that at in the scriptures, man? Right? All of this goes back to sun worship. You look at these Christian paintings. Let's see. Paintings of saints with the sun. And they always have a sun behind them. Because Christianity, Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, see if I can get, see that they always, see that's the sun. They got the rays right there behind it. That's why even certain churches you go to, they'll have the cross and they'll have the sun right in the middle, right? And it's divided up, right? For the different constellations. Let me see if I can see that. A lot of these older paintings, they always have a so-called white man and his chief god is the sun, which goes back to the Egyptian god Ra. And the Most High is about to block out the sun. And Christianity is the light of the world. It's the sun and the moon. When you read about the Lord taking away the sun and the moon from these other nations, he's taking away their religion. He's taking away their wisdom. He's taking away their science, their power. And it all goes back parabolically to them worshiping the sun. Look at these creeps, man. Right? You see that? They always have a sun behind them. See that? With these naked babies. Sun worship and homosexuality has always been the MO of the so-called white man. Sun worship and pedestry has always been his big deal. Don't let the suits and ties fool you. That's what they wanted them eclipse rockets at the sun, man, to try to probably stop it. Because they received, that's their top god that they worship. And they don't want anybody to stop them from worshiping their God, not even the Most High. See that? Okay, we're getting breaking news from we got inside sources saying that Fox News reported that there's an eclipse earthquake coming on Monday. Right? So we got inside breaking news, right? From inside men. Right? We got chief inside men. Right? So we'll see. We'll pull that up too. Right? We'll pull that up too. Right? Now bear with me. Right? Hold on, Salakia. Bear with me. So this thing is getting real, man. All right, this thing is getting real. So again, pedestry and sun worship. Look at this. Where's this at in the scriptures, man? Where is that at? That's supposed to be Judas betrayed him with, I don't know what this is, man, with a kiss, as if they kissed on the mouth. Sun worship and sodomy. The halo, a symbol that spread around the world. Let's look up this word halo. Right? Let's pull this up. So halo. A ring or light around the sun or moon. That's why everybody, when you die allegedly, you die as a Negro, a drug dealer with diabetes, heart disease on the earth, in prison. You got shot, you die, you go to heaven with a bunch of white men, and you go up there and you got a halo around your head. So now you can truly worship the sun. You can be up there with an everlasting white man who sits on the throne, right? With other old white men who have authority and who can enter in, and other little white baby angels, and all y'all could bow down to the sun. That's why you have a halo, man. Right? But it's not in the scriptures. It's not one precept. Zero. Ring or light around the sun or moon, from Latin halo, from Greek halos, disk of the sun or moon, ring of light around the sun or moon, disk of a shield. See that? The sense threshing floor. You see that? On which oxen trod out a circular path. Probably it's the origin in Greek. Right? Sense of light around the head of a holy person or deity. First recorded in the 1640s. And what happened in the early 1600s? From the 1300s to the 1600s. You have the Renaissance. Right? So you have a lot of these Renaissance paintings commemorating sun worship, which ultimately proves that this is also Egypt, right? And Rome, because they worship Apollos, and Ra, which is the god of the Egyptians, right? Apollos is the Greek god of the sun, and Ra is the so-called Egyptian god of the sun. That's what the Most High, he's going to judge them and take away their sun and moon. Okay, this is Isaiah 13 and verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened and is going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. So he's going to take away all of the wisdom behind their religion, science, politics, and all of their understanding is going to be depleted. right? So this is just a figure of what's to come. So they're telling people, right? Stock up on food, water, and fuel ahead of the eclipse. Emergency officials warn. Cell phone service could be a problem too, right? Lorain County Emergency Management in Ohio have issued a warning to eclipse watchers and locals to the path of totality to stock up on food, water, and fuel ahead of the total eclipse on April 8th, with an influx of visitors to the area expected. Right? Again, we don't know if anything major is going to happen. We got inside sources saying that there's going to be an eclipse earthquake. So let's pull that up. Let's see if that's a thing. Right? Let's see. See if we can get something on that. Right? Eclipse earthquake. They said, was the earthquake connected with the eclipse? Right? So they're trying to figure this thing out, man. They're trying to figure this thing out. And I know the brother said he sent me something. I'm gonna have to pull that up. Right? I'm gonna have to pull that up. And you know, we may have to dive into that, man. We may have to dive into this thing. Right? Let's see.
Yeah, because we've got the eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday.
Oh, you see that? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just play it off the screen. So here's what they're putting out there now. Right? Now check this out. I'm gonna just play it as is. Now you can probably see it, you can probably hear it, but you gotta listen. It's only 15 seconds.
The strongest earthquake in 140 years, John. Look at all that, and it's not over yet because we've got the eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Victor Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative experience.
Now where's that at? Now they're saying they're putting out there propaganda to cause confusion or, you know, whatever. They said there's an eclipse earthquake coming on Monday. That's what they say.
The strongest earthquake in 140 years, John. Look at all that, and it's not over yet because we've got the eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Victor Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative.
So he's reading from that teleprompter. So somebody put that on that teleprompter. I don't know who. All the stuff is owned by Amalek, these so-called, you know, these small hats, these devils, right? And they're putting this stuff out there. Predictive programming, maybe trying to get in the minds of the people, maybe cause them to riot, maybe cause a sedition, you know, maybe have them, you know, whatever, man. Right? And play that one more time. So this is inside sources, man, out in Philly, Jersey.
The strongest earthquake in 140 years, John. Look at all that, and it's not over yet because we've got the eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday.
Now, I'm not a seismologist, right? I don't have the credentials, but you know, to say that you're going to have an earthquake on Monday. Now, maybe they weren't supposed to get that information up. Maybe somebody slipped. Maybe the Most High put that there, and maybe they got a heart. You know, everybody know about heart, right? And they be manipulating the elements and making fake clouds and fake rain, and you know, making water appear out of nowhere. Maybe, you know, maybe they got this so-called man-made, right? Maybe they know something on the left-hand side, right? So why would he say there's going to be a man-made earthquake? Well, he didn't say man-made. He said we have the eclipse earthquake coming on Monday. Now, I would assume that this is from today, right? Maybe the brother could let me know when that clip actually. It was after. It had to have been yesterday, right? Because they're saying that the earthquake happened. We already had the earthquake in New York, so this had to have been yesterday. So he must be talking about this Monday, right?
The strongest earthquake in 140 years, John. Look at all that, and it's not over yet because we've got the.
He said it's not over yet because what? Okay, the brother said it was yesterday. You see that? See that right there?
Over yet because we've got the eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Victor Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative experience for anybody who is in the area.
So they said it's going to be a transforming experience, right? It's going to be a transforming experience. Now, here's one of the missiles they're going to shoot. That's what they say, right? They say one of the missiles is called APEP, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. They put the time on there. Okay. Now, they say one of the missiles that they're going to shoot is APEP. This is what they say. Rather, it's true. We don't know, but we're going to bring it out anyway, right? Because these are all, again, fearful sights and great signs from heaven. So APEP was the ancient Egyptian spirit of evil, darkness, and destruction. As the arch enemy of the sun god Ra, he was a malevolent force who could never be entirely vanquished. Every night as the sun traveled through the underworld or across the sky, his roar would fill the air. He would launch his attack, right? So a lot of these nations, man, they, especially being in modern day Egypt, they still serve these other gods. And they equate a lot of these gods with their technology, with their buildings, right? With their science, with their political structure. So they said they're going to fire this so-called god of darkness at the damn eclipse, man. Now, I actually dived into why they said they were doing that. Now, they said that, see if I can find that. They said they wanted to see, okay, name for a serpent deity. Let me see. They actually went into why they wanted to do it. Right, now here's what they said. I'm not going to read this whole thing. They used a whole lot of white man jargon, right? So here's what they said. Let's see. Interactions in the ionosphere are of interest because they impact communications technologies. So they say there's something in the atmosphere that impacts communication technologies. Maybe satellites, radars, GPS. We don't know, right? It's an electrified region that reflects and refracts, see that, radio signals, and also impacts satellite communications as the signals pass through. Understanding the ionosphere and developing models to help us predict disturbances is crucial to making sure our increasingly communication-dependent world operates smoothly, said mission lead Aero Barjatya in a statement. So allegedly, they're doing that to make sure that communications don't get disrupted, right? That's what they're saying, right? So they want to shoot it at the ionosphere, allegedly, to make sure that radio signals, GPS, satellite signals, cell phone service, all of that stuff remains intact, right? That's what they're saying, right? So that's why they have it named after this so-called goddess of Egypt, huh? So this is nothing but witchcraft. It's nothing but sorcery and witchcraft. That's why we said that day is going to be a lot of spiritual activity. Even if nothing happens immediately, the day after or a week after, even on that day, it's a lot of demonic activity going on, right? We know NASA, these leaders are wizards, witches, spiritual wickedness in high places, naming these things after gods and warlocks and shooting them after the divine course and nature of the Most High. These are heavy, abominable works of sin and pride for these nations to even have this wicked thought, right? That's why Isaiah 19 speaks about how they have these wizards and whatnot, man. Right? Isaiah chapter 19, right? And verse, we'll read 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. So we're not making that up. You don't have Gandalf and Harry Potter walking around. It's not what the wizards mean. And these wizards, they have degrees. These wizards, they wear suits and ties. These wizards, they have slick backs and they have shaved faces and so-called clean faces. They wear expensive watches and they live in high rises or condominiums and mansions. Some of them you never seen before. Some of them have aliases and names that you never heard before. Some of these guys you see every day, you don't even know that, huh? That they're wizards and warlocks. These charmers, right? They fancy and feign themselves as politicians, aristocrats, famous men, bankers, elites. Then you have men that do sacrifices and all types of stuff in the darkness, man. You know? So we're not making up the fact that America is full of wizardry and witchcraft. This entire society was built off of Freemasonry and witchcraft. All the so-called founding fathers, George Washington, John Adams, Monroe, Madison, Benjamin Franklin, they were into witchcraft, Egyptian Freemasonry and madness and folly. That's how America was created, right? So, you know, we're not surprised that they have missiles named after Egyptian gods and they worship the sun and then to all types of this. We're not surprised. We're not befuddled or confounded. We're not flabbergasted by these things, man. We know what this society is about. But you jakes out there that are into rat beef and the playoffs and who's going to get drafted and all of this madness, you're going to be caught out there, man. You're going to have to deal with it, right? So let's move on. So the next thing we got, you have, and you can see it on the screen, but I probably won't be able to say this word or they'll flag the channel. You got, see, we're going the flock, right? The foul sickness, right? The foul pestilence. Jump the cows, and then to a human shall we be worried. Now they're saying that this thing is going to spread. Now they say it's rare, but they're also putting out there that it's 100 times worse than a previous pestilence. Right? They're saying this thing, if it really spreads, it could be 100 times worse. So imagine 100 times worse shutdown, lockdown, 6 feet apart, mask, mandated mask, all of that stuff, man. They're saying that this thing could be 100 times worse. Now it's jumping to cows and humans. I believe in Ohio, I think Texas, I could believe Indiana, Oklahoma or Nebraska. So they're saying this thing is spreading around. Hey, if you're not under the protection of the Most High, you're going to be caught out there. The Lord calls this pestilence, right? Let's get that in Mark 13, right? Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, he calls these things pestilences, right? I want Mark chapter 13. Actually, let's get Matthew 24, right? Another word for a pestilence is what you call I'm trying to know if I could use these words, right? Got it down, be wise as a serpent, right? Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now you have two types of pestilences. You have one that's called, let's pull this up on the screen, right? An epidemic that affects the whole people, usually a portion of people, right? That's what the word means. Then you have one called a pandemic. Pan meaning all, right? Like a pantheon. And dem means people, like democratic, right? So dem means people, pan meaning all. So when you have one that's a pandemic, it has elevated in severity and it affects all people. Now, right now, it's on a low level, but eventually it's going to escalate and build up. And that's what they're saying. It's jumping from beast to birds to man. Now, they say it's a rarity for it to hit man, but this is just a sign of the times and the pestilence, man, on the earth, right? Sign of the pestilence on the earth. Hold on, and I wanted to get this too, Salakia. Now, back real quick to the eclipse, because there's so much going on, man, right? Where I'm at with time. I have to exceed the time that I'm allotted, right? I have to exceed, because there's so much going on the earth, man. Right? Are we doing? This would be a miss if we ran this short. If we cut it short, we got to go into this stuff, man. So now you got CERN during the time of that eclipse, while this so-called foul pestilence is spreading. They say that they're going to test their so-called machine in their particle collider, and we know all of that is witchcraft and sorcery as well. CERN was set to test or conduct this test during the eclipse. So you got high-level witchcraft going on as they shoot rockets at the eclipse. You got CERN, they want to conduct their test during an eclipse and deal with sorcery and witchcraft. This is madness going on. Right? Everybody wants to freak off on this eclipse. There's going to be some people, there's going to be murder, rape, sorcery, idolatry, darkness worship, sun worship, scientists and wizards and magicians conducting spells and particle colliders, proton beams. Who thinks about I want to smash particles at 671 million miles per hour? You think that was on David's mind? Only an Edomite is going to have that kind of thought. Wonder what it would be like if we take two particles and move them at 671 miles per hour, right? And I hope they damn explode, man. And they blow themselves up. And it causes some type of radioactive nuclear holocaust, right? Only an Edomite thinks of this kind of stuff, man. Let's sit down together. Well, what do you want to do today? I want to take two particles and I want to smash them together as not 670, but 671 million miles per hour. Let's just give it a go. Right? So these nations, man, that's why we need to be back ruling. The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, we need to be back in a position of power. Otherwise, you have stuff like this going on. That's what the Lord said in the classic. What is the classic verse? I mean, this is one of the first precepts you learn when you come into this thing. Job chapter 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? That's why the wicked, they're going to run the earth. They're going to shoot rockets at the moon, rockets at the sun, named after Egyptian gods. Right? They're going to open up particle colliders and witchcraft and sorcery on the day that darkness prevails in Babylon the Great. Now, only the wicked are going to do something like that. That's what they're going to do it, allegedly, during the eclipse. Right? CERN researchers put 3 beams of protons into the Large Hadron Collider, shooting them down a 17-mile-long tunnel at nearly the speed of light to recreate what, look at what they want to do. To recreate what happened 13.8 billion years ago. So they want to recreate the Big Bang. But what good can come of that? What do you gain out of that? What do you expect to happen? So they want to be the Most High. You know, they want to figure out how to recreate this stuff. This stuff is madness. This place gotta go, man. This stuff has to go. And how would they even know that's how the Big Bang started? Even if, and there's not a Big Bang. But how would they know smashing two things together is what caused it? First of all, Yahweh Shai, he's the one that did the creation, man. But they want to sit down together and cause nothing but confusion on the earth. This is their sorceries, man. Right? And they want to do it on Monday. Right? They call it the Big Bang Machine. And this looks like the sun. See that? So this there's a lot of madness on the earth, man. There's a lot of madness on the earth. And we know out there they have this Shiva statue, which is the so-called goddess of destruction. We know that. The so-called East Indian Hindu so-called goddess of destruction. Now, I don't know why scientists that are there to benefit human civilization and advance mankind and give man technology to better the environment, right? To better their health, to better the world, why would they have a Shiva statue, which is the goddess of destruction, outside of your entire facility? Unless that facility is created to put forth destruction on the earth. Right? So all these so-called gods and deities on the earth and madness and confusion, man. Right? This is right outside. Look at this. It's not a coincidence, man. They could have picked anybody. They could have put a mini Statue of Liberty, right? They could have put a damn Apollos, man, or Cupid. But this was by design, because this stuff is nothing but witchcraft and sorcery. All right, what else we got going on? Now you have CIA warns of risk of war between Iran and Israel. So you have wars and rumors of wars as well. And we're hoping, we're praying to Yahweh Bashim that this thing kicks off, man. That somebody launches a missile, right? This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 13 and verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and of rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. So you're going to have wars and rumors of wars, right? You're going to have Iran saying that we're going to attack Israel. You're going to have Israel that respond and say, well, you know, do it if you want to, man. We're going to respond. You even have America. They say they're telling Iran, you better chill out, man. Right? You better chill out. If you think about destroying us, I mean, we're going to respond. So the entire Middle East is on high alert right now. They are on high alert, just hoping that war doesn't kick off out in that region. Because if Iran bombs Israel, which they say they will do, a lot of these nations, they just like to hear themselves talk, right? It's just a rumor. But if they actually do bomb them, no doubt that that's World War III, right? No doubt, because Iran is backed by Russia and China. Those are your kings of the East. Israel, they're backed by Babylon the Great. So if Iran attacked Israel, you know they're going to attack these American forces out there too. And once they push against Babylon the Great is going to get involved. So this is a big deal, man. The world is on the edge of their seat as they murdered and assassinated those Iranian politicians and generals. Now, Iran said, okay, we're going to bury him, give a proper ceremony, and then we're going to attack. So that's what they're waiting on. They're saying between Friday, yesterday, and within 5 days, they're saying they're going to respond. But we'll see, man. Right? We'll see. Let's see if I pull this up. Where is this at? Right? Like I said, there's a lot going on. Oh, here we have it. Israel warns of consequences to any attack from Iran. Right? Israel warns of consequences from any attack from Iran. So this thing is heating up in the so-called Middle East. Let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Right? Let's go to Joel chapter 3, because really, what is the overall end game concerning these matters? The Most High, what he's going to do is he wants to take all nations and gather them together to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? For Armageddon. See, what you see going on with Ukraine and Russia, that's only the start. The prophecy does not say that World War III is going to end in Kiev, Ukraine, or Moscow, or St. Petersburg, right? Or Romania somewhere. What does the prophecy say? He's going to gather all nations to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. And he gathered them together in a place that is called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, which means mountain of troops, where all of the troops and soldiers are going to be gathered together to be destroyed by Yahushua. So that's what's happening. That's why these things are going on in the Middle East. For everybody of the world that wonders why there's always injustice and crimes against humanity, and the Palestinians and the Israelis and all of these wars and turmoil and conflict. People saying, will there ever be peace in the Middle East? Because first of all, there are spirits out there working on these minds of these men to provoke them to war and battle. Second of all, they have to have wars down there. Wars won't cease until the Israelites are back in that land. Right? Let's read this in Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Right? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And all nations are getting ready for war. They're all on high alert. Now, from what I'm told, Babylon the Great, they're actually hired or getting soldiers that retired and trying to bring them out of retirement back into the military because they have a lack of recruits and people willing to join the army. So they're getting these old heads that fought in previous wars and begging them to help fight in the army. So they're trying to get ready for war too. And nobody wants to join the Navy SEALs, man. Nobody wants to join this army. A lot of people are waking up. Even these Edomites are waking up to the corruption of Babylon the Great. They're listening to these. A lot of these Edomites are who we get our information from, man. Not the information of the truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, but what's going on in the world, man. They're whistleblowers. They're current events, AMTV, Dabo 007, in-game, end-time headlines, in-game World War III, right? Al Jazeera, Reuters. You understand? Many other sites and sources that we have that we probably can't disclose, man. Right through the spirit, man. Right? A lot of these Edomites, they don't want to join the military because they're too busy telling you how off the military is and the corruption of America. You have even soldiers that fought in Iraq coming back saying, look, we were out there. We didn't know what we were doing. Nobody told us. We didn't find any weapons of mass destruction, right? We were out there, stationed at Hoppy, with the opium fields and where the Hoppies are, whatever they call them, man. And they were watching fields and nobody would burn down where they would get the opium from. And they were molesting little girls and freaking off. So needless to say, America's looking for people to join the army. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So even weak nations, they're beginning to grow some hair in their chests, right? Like the Houthis who told America, bring it on. We're ready for World War III. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua said he's going to judge all the heathen in the so-called Middle East. And that's why. That's what Jehoshaphat is. Right? Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision. Shaphat means judgment. And Jeho goes back to the Hebrew Yah, which means he, which is an abbreviated name of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua. So that's why you have, where is this? Israel warning of consequences from any attack, right? From Iran. And then we have, here's another one. This is from Heritz, right? Iranian sources. Iran will respond directly to Damascus attack to create deterrence. So, we're led to believe they're going to do it. Sometimes a lot of these nations, they vow vengeance and they talk and they raise the flag. But, we're praying. We're not hoping that this thing just go under the rug, man. We're kind of, over that. If you're going to do it, man. If I had the number to this guy who ran Iran, I would be double texting, triple texting, calling his phone. Are you going to attack? Don't you know they destroyed how many people? You going to let Allah let that happen? Hey, I'll be instigating, man. Then I'll be like, hang up and I'll call that damn devil in Israel, man. Right? And I'll start talking, man. You going to let them talk to you like that? Then I put them both on speaker, man. Right? And have them talk to each other, man. Right? And just sit back and watch. And then call them back. And then have them press the damn button, man. So we don't want this stuff to go under the rug, man. If you're going to respond, respond. Iran will respond. This is what they said, directly to Damascus attack to create deterrence. According to American reports, and they say a lot of these reports are coming from the CIA, United States is preparing for a significant Iranian attack that may come during this week. It might come when you're at the plantation. It might come when you're driving. It might come when you sleep. Right? Remember, their time zone is different than your time zone. They are hours ahead, man. Which they assess will include a swarm of loitering drones and cruise missiles against an Israeli diplomatic facility. They might bomb an embassy. They might bomb one of their government buildings, man. Drones and cruise missiles. If they attack, there's a 99% chance that will start World War III. 99% chance World War III is going to start at that matter. That's it. And we're praying that right after that eclipse, you got that blood moon that happened 2 weeks ago, March 25th, and we're praying that World War III starts sooner than later. You got this damn pestilence going on, birds hopping on beasts, hopping on man. You got damn lightning strikes and earthquakes. I mean, these are exciting times. I'm excited, man. I've never been happier, man. I mean, I'm elated. I'm on 10, man. You know, I'm on what they say, cloud 9. I'm walking on air. I went to smile. I went to sleep smiling last night, man. And I woke up happier. Sometimes I laugh, man, at the judgments of the Most High. These are beautiful times that you're living in. And what did Yahushua say in Luke? Right? We've been in Luke chapter 21 a lot. But here's what the Lord said in Luke chapter 21, man. Right? Luke chapter 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Your redemption draws nigh. If you ever had your head down, you worried about bills, you worried about your rent, oh, my mortgage, am I going to be able to do this? Oh, will I ever have enough? Am I ever going to be able to get better? And hey, if you had any opportunity, if there was any other day to be praising Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai on the Shabbat, it would be today with so much judgment on the earth. If there was any other time to make sure your spirit is right and you're examining yourself and walking on a tightrope, on eggshells, it would be now. If there was ever a time to be on fire and be zealous and be diligent, it would be now. If there was ever a time to remove all manner of blemishes and spots from your garment, it would be now. Because your redemption, meaning your deliverance, you're purchasing back from the world or from bondage or from the so-called white man and from sin, it draws nigh. Things are happening every day. Every day something is happening, man. Every day. And you can't lose sight of these things, man. Right? You got Iran, they're saying they may even attack the U.S. Water supplies. Warns Biden administration. So, I mean, there's a lot of threats going on, man. Do it, Iran. Right? Do it, man. If you're going to do it, like we say, do it, man. Push the button. Attack the water supplies. Do the cyber attack. Throw them drones out there. You know? And the Lord said, talk no more exceeding proud, man. Neither let arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Most High is the God of knowledge. And by him, actions are weighed. That's 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. Verse 3, actions are weighed. All right? The brother said in the comment board, stand on business, man. That's what they say. He stood on business. He understood the assignment, right? You got to do this thing, man. You got to make these things happen, right? What else did we have? Right? Oh, you got all hell breaking loose in Jerusalem, huh? Now, I thought Jerusalem was called the city of peace. Well, let me let this load up. Right? You have riots in Jerusalem, man. See if I can pull this up for sake of time. Because now Jerusalem. Oh boy, Salakia. Okay, all right. This might be the video right here. Now, these supposed to be the people of the Most High. If you're an Amalekite, small hat, a tunnel digger, right? If you are the people of the Most High, and this is your kingdom, and God gave you this land as a fulfillment of Bible prophecy, you're the chosen people of the Most High. You were given the law, right? You're going to sacrifice your red heifer to force the hand of Yahushua, although the Lord said, stir not up nor wake my love till he please. But if you're the people of the Most High, why don't you have peace in Jerusalem, man? Any simpleton, imbecile, low level would understand that these ain't the people of the Lord, man. The prophecy says what? When the true people are in that land. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 2. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4. Here's the prophecy when the true children of God are in the land. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. The Lord said, neither shall they learn war anymore. There will be no more war when the true children of God are in the land. So how in the hell are you about to go to war with Iran? Make it make sense, Esau. Right? Let's go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. Right? How are you the people of the Most High, man? Prove it. Right? What prophecy do you align up with? Hosea chapter 2 and 18. Here's another one. And in that day will I make a covenant for them, meaning with the Israelites, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. The prophecy says in Hosea, when the Israelites are put in the second wilderness, leading up to their homeland, he's going to break the bow. There's not going to be any missiles, any AR-15s, any grenades, any riots. He's going to break all that out the earth and make the Israelites to lie down safely. Let's see in this footage right here, if the alleged people of the Most High, where is this at, are lying down safely. Right? Let me find that footage. We just had it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if they're lying down safely. Hold on, let me get the audio. Now, if they're not lying down safely, this would be complete hypocrisy. Right? This would be complete hypocrisy. Now, this is fair use. Now, you got people saying this is the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom beefing again. Right? It's not uncommon. It happens all the time. You got people saying it's the Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom fighting again. Jeroboam and Rehoboam. This is not Jeroboam and Rehoboam, man. They're trying to find any verse to make it fit them, man. Right? Well, let's play this. Oh, what are you riding for, man? Hold on. I thought y'all are the chosen people of the Most High. I thought there would be peace in the land. I thought y'all would be sitting upon thrones, receiving crowns. You got megaphones and torches, like a damn mob, man, a demonic mob. Bunch of damn devils. Satan divided against Satan. And the Lord said that there will be troubles and commotions among the people too, in Luke chapter 21, and seditions among men and invading one another. And that's what you see going on. It's where you got seditions, you got uproars of the people, you got earthquakes, you got wars, you got blood moons, you got eclipses, you got pestilence. I mean, there's only so many more prophecies that have to happen. We just checking them off one by one. There's only so much more. You know, now really one of the major prophecies we waiting on is World War III to actually kick off, but we're also waiting on the time of Jacob's trouble, right? And so we're looking for more persecution and more defamation, maybe a false flag, maybe, you know, something that they put out there to target the Israelites. That's one of the next major things. And that's going to lead into that fifth seal and massive persecution. And while we're going through that massive persecution, World War III is going to be on the mid-level. It's going to be happening. Then you're going to have that sixth seal when it escalates and more nations get involved. Then you're going to have the seventh seal when all of the nuclear bombs are starting to hit the earth, right? So this thing, I mean, we almost out of here, man. And we almost home. We on third base, and we leading. I think that's what they say in baseball. You lead, and we about to steal home, man. We're not in the dugout, man. You know, waiting to come up the bat. Third base, we on our way home. It's the ninth inning, man. It's the bottom of the ninth. Esau got 2 outs, right? He got 2 outs. He got 2 strikes. You know, no balls, right? And Jake about to get out of here, man. It's about to be a walk-off when the Lord returns, right? And the Lord gonna send us home, man. The Lord gonna come up with the chariots, and He gonna send us home. If you understand, right? This stuff is madness. This stuff is madness, man. Iran, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? I told if I had this guy's number, man, I would call him. I would pay the fee, the international fee. You know, I would wait on hold. They put me on hold. I was like, hey, what are you waiting on, man? Press the button. They got Pink City out there, a bunch of freaks and sodomites, pedophiles, man, murderers, cigarette, pork eating smokers, demons. Yeah, Jake said, I want to live in Israel now. Why the hell do you want to go there now, man? We got to move. We got to go back to Israel. You're going to get caught up in that madness. Now, it's not a sin to go back to Israel. Hey, but I want to make it out of Babylon the Great, man. I want to see this place go down. Where's that at in the scriptures, man? Where you in the kingdom and you're going to be arresting your own people. Where's that at? What scripture is that? Okay, and in the kingdom, one Israelite shall arrest another Israelite, and thou shalt cast them out into prison, right? Until he has been. Where is that at? When you're in your land, you're going to be arresting. You're going to be arresting other Israelites, man, and throwing them out, throwing them in the prisons, man. So they pay the utmost farthing. So this is bad. Where's that in the law? Aren't they supposed to be keeping the law? From Genesis to Deuteronomy, what do you arrest somebody? Right? So, man, this is mad. So you got that going on, right? What else we got? Hold on. Oh, you got protests going on. Hold on. Is this showing? Make sure this is showing. Screen not showing. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull this up. So let me show this as well, right? So this is, now you got riots going on in Turkey too, man. Right? They rioting in Turkey. I mean, you got riots all over the earth. This is fair use, right?
İlk önce kayyumu icat ettiler bakın. Kayyumu icat ettiler.
You got riots.
Bunun hukukta, yasada yeri yok.
You got election riots going on in Turkey. Now, I want to get a quick precept, right? I want to get a quick precept. Let's go to second Esdras, right? I've been paraphrasing and quoting it, but I want to actually pull the precept, right? And second Esdras. All right, this is second Esdras, the second chapter. Actually, I want to select the 15th chapter, right? This is second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's where you have people with torches in their hands, baseball bats, guns, right? Knives. And one people are the citizens, and another people is the government and the military, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they don't care about the government, these leaders in Jerusalem and Turkey and Babylon the Great in Europe. They have no care about these other nations, man, and what the military is enforcing. They're fed up, and they're going to do what they want to do, man. So you're going to have more of that going on in the earth. Another thing that's going on in the earth, NATO can have Ukraine or the USA, not both. So NATO is saying that we're going to take on Ukraine. We already know what's going to happen if NATO accepts Ukraine. If Ukraine joins NATO, that is World War III. Rather, Israel or Iran started, or NATO accepts Ukraine. Because by default, if Ukraine is at war with Russia, NATO is at war with Russia. Now, we've always go through Article 5 of NATO. Article 5 says if you attack one NATO country, you attack all NATO countries, right? So if NATO accepts Ukraine, and you had the senator, he didn't like that. He didn't like that, man. He said either America could leave NATO, or NATO, you can pick and choose. Do you want Ukraine or America? That's what some of these Babylonians, they don't like that because they don't want to go to war. Right? He said that's a dangerous move, man. And he put it out there. U.S. Secretary of State Blinken says Ukraine will be NATO member. Right? So we know that's going to lead to what? World War III. Right? That's going to lead to World War III. So we're going to actually play this quick clip. And this guy on the left, he's the one that said it, man. So the Most High got a spirit on these kings, man. Right? On the kings of the earth. Let's play that real quick. The Most High has a spirit on the kings of the earth. Right? To gather them together to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. Now check out what this man said.
Will become a member of NATO.
Hold on.
Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at this.
Heard that?
Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward. We've done a lot of work on that over the last couple of days here in Brussels, a lot more work to be done.
And like a brother said on the comment board, the left Yahweh, he looked worried. I agree, he does look worried. He doesn't look like he wanted to say that. You know, usually when you pick a draft pick or these guys, they pick people to join their team, they're pretty confident. You know, they're clapping it. They're going to, you know, do big things and use them for particular purposes, and they're going to take them to the championship. They're just picking up Ukraine, and he doesn't seem like he's really into it. Look at
Ukraine will become a member of NATO.
And this guy's
our
making sure he say the
purpose
right
at the
thing.
summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward. We've done a lot of work on that over the last couple of days here in Brussels. A lot more work to be done between now and the summit, but we will see, I think, in the summit, very strong support for Ukraine going forward in its relationship with.
See that? So they say Ukraine will join NATO. So again, what do we have going on Earth? You got eclipses happening on the Earth. You have blood moons, right, that just transpired. You have all hell breaking loose on the Earth. You got Iran and Israel about to go to war. You got them shooting the rockets. You got them planning the state troopers. It's like the National Guard. You have riots and pandemonium. You have witchcraft and sorcery. You have pestilence and madness and confusion on the earth, man. And it's beautiful times that we live in, and these are exciting times, man. I haven't been happier, man. I haven't been more excited than this in a very long time, and this has made, you know, my week, man. I'm trying to keep up. I'm screenshotting. I'm looking this up, and there's so much more that we have to go into. So we have to keep watch, make sure that we're praying, keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, having our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, enduring unto this end, begging for mercy and praying for mercy that the Lord don't take the Holy Spirit away from us. Keep watching the prophecies that are going on and be in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That is our overall goal, to obtain and be perfect and move in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Right, but with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Most High willing you are edified. Keep the Sabbath holy. No buying, no selling, no cooking, no sex on the Sabbath, no speaking your own words, doing your own pleasures. Keep this day holy. It is the most sacred day. With that, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Barakatham, Kwam Yasham. Shalom.